And welcome to another episode of More Conversations with the Average Black Man. We are your hosts, Timotheus and the lovely Morphine. Yes, 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 yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are so awesome. Welcome to another more conversations with the average black man, man. We back
Ain't
to
it
you
hard to
at it
ain't it
again.
hard to not say ain't it hard to say
Is it really hard? I almost did it. I almost did it.
I almost said more contentious the first time too. More contentious conversations with the average black man, goddamn it. It is what it is, and that's all that it is. Shout out
uh,
to in the comments. Hello, hello, hello,
she said hello.
hello.
Shout out to BBW Jazz.
Oh, she want to see. Hold
Hopefully,
on,
we'll have a good show. This is
hold
brought to you
on.
today by.
Hold on. Let me. She want to see my Eddie Bauer symbol right here. Yeah, Eddie Bauer. See that right there? That's the Eddie Bauer.
let me put the dudes up and shit.
So today we are talking about power dynamics in a relationship. Can two people lead a relationship?
Mm-hmm.
With all the with all the shifts in economic standing seen between men and women over the decades, women now have the financial power to take care of themselves, which has put a what would seem to be a huge strain on the dating
Mm-hmm.
market as a whole, especially the dating market. We live in a society where they taught us that you got to pay the cost to be the boss, and
Mm-hmm.
he who makes the rule, he who has the gold, excuse me, he who has the gold makes the rules. So let's talk about that. You got to pay the cost to be the boss, but he who has the gold makes the rules. So if in a relationship, whoever makes all the money makes the rules. So if it's the man that makes all the money, he gets to make all the rules because he paid the cost to be the boss. Is
Or
you
if
know what I
it's a
mean?
woman, like say it's a woman that makes all the money, do
Right,
she pay the cost to be the boss? You
right.
know,
Does she get to make the rules? Right.
right?
All
So
right. So let me bring up something. Let's keep this moving because we got a lot to cover. We got a lot to cover.
right.
So let me pull this up right here. All right, get that out the way. All
Power
right, Mariam.
possession.
Power implies possession of, ability
Mm,
to, or wield force, the authority or influence. Authority implies power for a specific purpose
yes.
within specified limits. So,
If you
in
want power, it implies you possess the ability to wield force and authority or influence. Authority or influence, because sometimes you might have authority with no goddamn influence. But say you could have the authority to influence somebody.
uh
You
oh,
know
uh oh. You know what? Having power and force is the definition to.
what?
It's the submission. That because when you submit, you bow down to the person that's in power that has the force.
To influence.
Ooh, hoo, hoo,
Oh,
hoo,
the way we
hoo.
can't we can't drop that influence shit. You gotta
No, we
be
can't drop that either.
influenceable. You
You
gotta
gotta
be
have you gotta have influence. You gotta be able to say
you gotta have influence. If you don't got
you
no
got you
influence,
got to be able to
no
say
influence.
you're gonna do
I
this
said
because I
influence.
said
You don't
so.
influence. What'd you say?
You gotta be able to say, go do that.
Yeah.
I need
And,
you to
and,
wash
and,
my drawers for me, baby. Okay.
and don't forget to say it with big dick energy.
I need
Like
you to
real.
wash my drawers for me, girl.
No, that's yelling. You got
No. Hold on, let me
go
hit my
wash
let me
these
get that out of my
drawers.
hold on.
Okay. And don't forget the fabric softener. And don't wash my drawers with your
I'm gonna need
funky
you.
ass drawers.
I'm gonna need you to. I'm gonna need you to throw these drawers in the wash for me. Make sure
Yeah,
you.
there you go. That's it.
Don't get
That's how
don't
you
slip
do.
Don't slip out the chair now. Don't slip out the chair.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Absolutely. Look, look at this right here. Look at that right there. Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
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 Absolutely. Absolutely.
So this is why there's a wonderful word that we like to call balance.
Now, in a relationship now, the power dynamics fall under terms that we are very familiar with, that we live with on an everyday basis. You know,
Mhm.
uh, and those words are dictatorship and democracy. So,
We don't like
in
these
a,
words. This is not the words we like, though. We don't like these words.
well, they assert power. So in a dictatorship, it's talking about a government, and that's what a relation. If you're gonna have a power dynamic in a relationship, one person has to be the leader in control of the situation, where the person that makes all the rules and decisions without the input of anyone else. It's a dictatorship. I'm the man, and I say so. Woman, it's right. It's right,
No,
woman.
no, no,
I'm the
no, it's not
man
right. No, it's not
because I
right.
said so.
Not right at all.
You know, parents say that a lot to their kids. Why I gotta do it, mama? Because I said so.
It's not, but you cannot say that shit to your woman. It don't work like that.
Because I said so. Now,
Lady, you can't say that to your man. Well, us adults, we say that to our children because they're dependents. Now, if your wife is a dependent, then I'm gonna shut the fuck up and let you do you, brother, because clearly I am talking way out of turn. Okay. But if it's not like that, don't be talking to your man like that. Well, look at she gonna give you that. She or he will give you that. Who are you talking to? Face like.
all right.
I can't.
So now, like I said, we got a lot to cover. So since in a relationship, this whole sense of power dynamics, if two people are competing for power, let's look at what competition does. In a let's act. It is competition a good trait to have, because a lot of people say relationships shouldn't be a competition. Men and women shouldn't be competing with each other. We shouldn't have this dynamic of, well, men need to catch up to us, and women need to be doing this, right? So let's look at the breakdown of a good explanation of competition. Competition can motivate a person to work harder than they would have done alone. However, an individual who feels they must win at all costs may burn themselves out or alienate others. When competitiveness causes emotional distress or disrupts someone's daily life, that person may wish to get professional help. Get you some counseling, motherfucker.
You gonna counsel.
Get you some counseling.
Like that might help you out in the long run. Like I keep telling people, don't come to Facebook. Go to therapy.
Go to therapy, not therapy, but therapy.
Go to
Oh,
therapy.
what are other words that attributes to competitiveness? Aggression, ambition, competing, cutthroat. Ooh, shit, vying, weak matches, antagonistic at odds, combative, dog eat dog. Ooh, killer instinct, opposing, rival, streetwise. These are all terms that should never exist in a healthy relationship.
Mm.
You just should never think of your partner and be like, well, why you didn't do that? Hey, it's a dog eat dog world, man. You didn't cook me nothing to eat. Dog eat dog world, man. They got a kitchen. Go in there. There's a kitchen in there. You know what the kitchen is at.
No,
You know
that's
that.
not how you supposed to operate,
that's
man.
that's you know what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So the
Hmm.
ideal that you would want in a relationship is this word that's synonymous to submission. Cooperation. Now, this brings us back to the title. When you're cooperating with someone, who gets the final call? Where is the leader? Can there be
There is
cooperation
no
without a leader?
cooperation. There is no well. That's just my opinion. There is no leader in cooperation because you have to cooperate. You can't compete and cooperate at the same time. They don't coexist with each other.
But do they? Because if I got a plan and I'm like, Morphine, I got this plan. I want you to roll with me. You do this part and then we good. So that would make me the leader in that situation, right? Because I presented the plan. So this is why this is a tough conversation to have. Because I present the plan. So by default, that makes me the leader, right?
In Hans, I mean, in most logic, yeah. I mean, some people could try to like backdoor their way out of that. Like, no, because my wife made the plan that I'm still the leader. But in hindsight, that's exactly what it means. Whoever came up with the plan is in the lead, is an elite. No matter who carries the plan out, the person that made the plan is the lead. If I gave you the mission and you went on the mission, you completed the mission. It doesn't mean that you came up with that mission on your own. Like,
Cooperation, the process of working together to the same end, assistance, especially ready, compliance to requests, compliance to requests. So compliant, that means not argumentative, not combative. You don't want to, your ideas are not competing against my ideas. If I say, hey, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do, you're going to comply. You're not going to say, well, what about this idea? See, this is where it becomes a slippery slope. This is where it becomes a slippery slope.
yeah, I will agree. So how can you cooperate and lead at the same time? Like
Right.
by coming up with the plan?
That's what I'm saying. This is a tough one. This is a tough one.
Like basically, who comes up with the plan is the lead, but what we going to do? Argue about who came up with yeah, argue who came up with the plan and how who came up with the plan, so we're not going to do it.
Right, and that's where it becomes a slippery slope because like a friend of mine had a conversation because I was telling him about the show and I had mentioned that to him. He was like, well, because I asked him, can two people lead a relationship? He was like, it just depends. If my wife is good at finances and I'm bad with finances, then boom, I'll let her take the lead in that. I was like, okay, but you saying letting her take the lead means that you're saying that, okay, go ahead and do that. You have my permission. That's a position of authority, of lead, of saying, since I know that you're better than with me, I'm going to let you go ahead and do it. You know what I mean?
You can't, but then that means you give the power to the submittee. But we always say that as women that we give men power to lead, because without the allowance, how would you lead? And what you just said is the same thing as allowance. It's no different.
All right. So cooperation, coordination, collaboration, teamwork, partnership, community. Oh, here's that word. Reciprocity, symbiosis, and unity. Unity. All right.
Say no. All right, I'm gonna stop singing all the songs that go with it.
So why do people give away their power? Giving away your power might mean others. I got typos, so I ain't gonna lie. I'm about to freestyle it because I see my typos. Forgive me, audience. I tried though. I tried. Giving away your let me see what I got going on so I can summarize it. Giving away your power might mean others define your self-worth. That you may have weak boundaries or feel like you have too much to do. It could mean that you change your mind based on others' opinions or because you feel guilty. Why is it so hard to give up power? The short answer: power is an addiction, and power addicts. Seek power because it triggers the same dopamine release in the brain that addicts receive from drugs.
You lying, for real?
I got to take this call.
Oh gosh. Don't they know we're doing a show? Don't they know? Anywho, listen. I'm gonna go on into a little bit more into what we talking about. So say you got a dictator. So he was talking about a dictator is a government or a social situation where one person makes all the rules and all the decisions without the input from anybody else. Now, most men say it would be a dictatorship because he consults his significant other and he will take her advisement under advisement, which under consideration, which is like, yeah, okay, I heard you, but I'm still doing what I want to do. Not all the time, but most of the time, that's what the fuck that means. I mean, when that's women say that shit, that's exactly what it means. When the government officials say that shit, that's exactly what it means. So I don't know what it means when men say it, but I'm gonna associate it that way. Um, what is the simple definition of dictatorship? Well, how many times you gonna define that? The first damn definition. Do
Right.
men do men and women have a competitive trait, innate competitive trait within them, Mister
I
Average Black
don't
Man?
think that I don't think that being competitive is innate within us because
Mm,
biology has us designed to be social,
yeah,
you know. What just the very way that our children are born is an indicator of how we're meant to be a team because our babies are born completely helpless. So, when we compare that to like animals, like a four-legged animals have a baby within an hour, they up running. Our babies take a whole year to start walking and be barely walking at that. You know what I mean? So
mhm.
we're designed to be a team. We're designed to say, hey, we made this baby. You be here nurturing, pop your titty in his mouth and all of that. I'm gonna go get us something to eat. That's how we're designed like that. That's just our nature. Not all, and we tend to go against that for some reason. I think that's why we have conversations like this, is because we are the only creatures, the only animals on earth that actively, consciously try to go against our nature.
I think that we are constantly trying to define what our nature should be as society modernize itself. As it gets more modern, it gets more modern. We always consistently trying to define what is and what is not, regardless of regardless of the gender roles. Like from a post that I seen and I was arguing on almost for like 2 days straight, where a woman had a house, her husband and the kids, they all in a house, and she was carrying it on her back. And a guy captioned, I'm sorry, the whole post, the whole picture. A woman that is raised to be a wife wouldn't feel this way. And I was like, see, this is the dumb shit that people post to combat some shit that a woman said on YouTube or she said on TikTok that probably has nothing to fuck to do with what she said. But anyway, it's kind of remotely the same type of image of the man with the world on his back. It's the same.
Right.
It's the same image, you
But
know.
see, this is the thing. Let me pull this up right here because the issue that a lot of those dudes on the online and stuff be having a problem with is that they don't have the sociology definition of what power is. Power has the capacity to change things. So if you're not in a position to come in and change a woman's life because of who you are, who you built yourself up to be as a man, you're not in the position of power, bruh.
That part.
You're not in the position of power. It is the means of constraining people and reducing their freedom. I mean, if you want to be a kidnapper, then that fits you perfectly. You know what I'm saying? Or increasing the freedom of an action of the agents who possesses it. So that means the kidnapper frees themselves. Forget you, nigga, I'm free. I got the power. I got the upper hand now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It can either be restrictive or enabling, which is true. So, you know, those females that got dudes living with them and they know he ain't no good, but they can't tell him to leave and being enabling, they're freeing themselves and giving that person their power. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And for all the men, when you bareback her and you skeeted her, you just gave her your power. So you can't complain about being baby daddy. You can't complain about child support because you could have wrapped it on up. You could have went slip, slap, put a rubber band on the back. Wow! Make sure it don't slide off.
Yeah, I mean, when we bring that power dynamic up, as always, well, you know, women choose sex. Like y'all choose
And,
who we
and women
choose.
choose the right to an
We choose
abortion and
who
all of that.
all that
And as a man, I do relate and can understand that standpoint. But I also understand as a man that it's my skeet.
It's his
If I
skeet.
don't, if I
But
don't want it to go, you
though,
know what I'm saying? If I don't want it to go the wrong way, I'ma covet my skeet. I'm be like, it's mine.
ah,
You can't have it. It's
it's
mine.
my skeet.
My my skeet.
Men should covet their skeet, and only because, you will go to jail or child support if you don't. So why risk your freedom, brother? Why risk your freedom? If I was a man, I ain't want no kids. I, I will be skeeting in her mouth, her face, her chest, her ass, everywhere else, but where the hell it produces a kid at. I'm just saying. You know, she say
You're so nasty.
I'm just saying. Anyway, moving on. Moving on.
My
Uh,
computer running slow. I'm trying to open up a video, but my computer is moving slow.
what video are you trying to open it?
All right, so this goes into this age old argument that's been a hot topic. Goes right into the power dynamics
Oh
because you
God.
know,
Oh, as soon as you brought this motherfucker.
yeah, you already know it. You already know,
Right.
right?
A lot of
Okay.
men feel like women have a problem going 50-50 on the bills. They say it make me a roommate. That's not the case. I don't think modern women have a problem going 50-50 on the bill. They have a problem with going 50-50 on the bills, but they don't get 50% of the same. 50% of now you cooking for her, you cleaning for her, you taking the kids 50% of the times. The problem is when you agree to get into this 50-50 relationship when it comes to financially, that's all you consider. That's what a lot of modern women have a problem with. You go ghost when it's time for me to get 50-50 in other things. You acting like you too much of a man to pick up a mop, to load the dishwasher, to help with the homework. But yet you ain't too much of a man to accept the half of a rent payment that I give you to our mortgage. That's the problem that a lot of modern women are facing today. He's going to say, well, I mow the grass and I clean the gutters, things that happen once a week. But I tell you, the diapers need changing every day.
I said that. Oh, listen. I said that a long time ago. Those type of dudes will sit out there and put out some shit they do once a week, twice a month, compared to something that you got to do daily, multiple times. And I'm like, I don't think they want to raise their children. They just want to produce them. You know, they ain't want to stick in the raising part.
I agree with you, but I gotta play devil's advocate. I gotta be 60-40, right? Do you want to get out there and cut the glass and clean the gutters and wash the upstairs windows and get under the toilet and fix the toilet when there's boo boo coming out the toilet? And, you know, you know, it's delicate. I would say it's delicate. It's a delicate balance.
What happened if he don't know how to clean a boo boo? See, you got everything good till you went to this motherfucker being a plumber. he gonna call the plumber just like I'm gonna call the plumber. 9 times out of 10. But the gutters and the mowing the grass, I live in the city. So we got maintenance. How do that work?
Yeah, I agree. He was
For us city folk, for us city folk that don't got no grass, we got patches. Sir, with
All right, I got a few of these. Let's go through them so we can open up the phone lines.
let's go. Let's go. I say that work for country folks. That work on them.
So I got a few 50-50s. I got some that's saying this is good, this is bad, you know, this is good, this is bad. So let's just go through them.
That part, BB.
What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
Going 50-50 with a man in a healthy relationship doesn't exist. And this is going to be so controversial, but let's fucking do it. A man that is willing to go 50-50 with a woman is a man that still yet doesn't have the intention of being a financial provider. When a man says, I want my woman to provide for herself while still expecting her to raise his children, he's basically saying, I want my wife to be half of the man for me while still being all of the woman. This is an unbalanced equation of the feminine and masculine dynamic. When the woman is working to provide the other 50% while raising children, it will put her on survival mode and she cannot fulfill her divine purpose as a mother to carry, nurture, and raise her children to be the highest reflection of their father. And then men say, I will not provide for you, I will not marry you, and I will not lead you. But I will fuck you. And if you get pregnant, we'll figure it out with no plan because I'm a man that lacks intention. This is why we have so many broken families and our communities are degrading. The masculine energy in our society is weak. It's why so many women have daddy issues. There's no real discipline, no focus, and no leadership from men anymore, at least not many. Instead, society wants to push women to be more masculine instead of providing the masculine support needed to uplift and protect their feminine essence.
Now, a lot of what she said though was real, but a lot of it was just like because at the end of the day, every relationship has to do what works for them. You know, what might not work in your relationship, sister girl, may work in another relationship. They got whole situations where they got some men are house husbands and the wife get up and go to work and the men stay home and be with the babies all day. It's rare, but you know, we can't just paint this overly wide narrative. So let me go ahead and open up the next one.
Experience. So are we doing 50-50?
Because this is power dynamics.
The invites. I'm gonna start putting them everywhere.
Oh yeah, start posting the so while we're playing these videos, we're gonna start posting the link for everybody to come. So this 50, we're just going through 50-50 because it's the most major power dynamic that is the major talking point going on right now. If it'll play. Do you want to play? Do you want to play? Do you want to play with for me? It don't want to play. I can't get it to play. What the problem is, Tina? Okay. Let me try this again.
Experience. So are we doing 50-50?
I hear it. Oh, there you go. Wait.
Experience. So are we doing 50-50?
Let me handle this real quick. I got real experience with this. So all right, so I'm 31, my lady 30. We've been married for 1 year, right? Yeah, I'm the guy that spent 115,000 on the wedding. That's me.
The dumbest thing you should.
But let me go back real quick. I'm gonna make it fast. We started off 18, 19. Of course, at that time, we young, everything 50-50, right? Everything 50-50. Once I decided that I wanted to start my entrepreneur journey when I was like 24, 25, guess what? It went more like 70-30, and she was 70. But just because a man, he may be at 30 and she's 70, don't mean I ain't had that vision. See, more women would feel comfortable supporting if they had a man with a real vision. Just because I was at 30 didn't mean I wasn't a leader. And she respected me still. See what I'm saying? So as we go along, I started my entrepreneur journey. Guess what? She took a job an hour and a half away, right? I said, baby, listen, handle your business. I got this right here. I'm coming to get you, right? About a year later, I got us a house. I came and got her for a government job. I got her some benefits. And then it turned around. Now I'm 70 and she 30. The time we got married, we 100 to nothing now. I got it because you was there, you stayed down, you believed in me, and now we're 100 to nothing because she was supportive of what I was doing. And she still respected me as a man. She didn't downgrade me when I wasn't, doing my thing. And that's the problem with a lot of women today. Just because a man may not be up on his feet financially, they seem to down a man, but they don't understand man with vision though. Nobody got patience no more. Sorry.
Oh. Right. You
We
gotta have a
ain't share
vision.
with these.
You gotta have a vision. You can't just be
Oh, fuck.
thinking he's just supposed to do such and such and such and such because you want him to do such and such, but you want him to be supportive of you. That it's that word that was in that other thing, that reciprocity. You gotta have that reciprocity.
Man.
If I have to go 50-50 with you, and I still have to do.
Hold on, let me go. Like I said, it's a bunch of these. Power dynamics 50-50.
Oh shit. I ain't even drop them in the bed chest. I'm drawn. Sorry.
If I have to go 50-50 with you, and I still have to do all the cooking and all the cleaning, I'd rather go 50-50 with a roommate where I know that person is going to also cook for me. That person is also going to help me clean. That person is also going to help me with everything. Be wanting a bitch to go 50-50 with them, and I'm supposed to work 40 hours just like you, and I'm supposed to still come and cook you food and still suck dick and you preach. Just like preach. I'm not doing that. Preach. I'm not doing that.
Yes.
I'm not doing
Yes.
that.
You're supposed
I'm not
to.
doing that.
That's how it was written, bro.
No.
Bro, I hate this new generation.
How? She's just making it easier for you. She basically
No, I'm expecting
is what you expect.
if you love me, right? You as a woman. I'm
Love
not
is-
trying to sound misogynistic or controlling.
Love is for
You love me as a woman, right? And you love me, right? I'm expecting you, even if for the time being we have to work the same amount of hours, I'm still expecting a cooked meal every.
Honestly, I can't with this generation of men, especially North American men. Is he serious? That is how it is supposed to be. That is how it is written. By who? Most of you men in North America cannot even afford patriarchy. Patriarchy states that a man is supposed to have economic power, a man is supposed to provide. Yet you cannot do that. Most of you cannot even afford patriarchy and patriarchal relationships, yet you expect a woman to uphold the principles of a traditional relationship. How do you expect a woman to go out there, work 40 hours, come for you, clean, do everything, still be in shape, have no cellulite, have no stretch mark, be in top physical shape, have a flat stomach, and still be able to be adventurous in the bedroom? How does that make sense? A lot of you are drinking from the Kool-Aid of delusion, and it is just not funny at this point. And you said that you dislike this generation of women. No, this generation of women have woken up to understand that their grandmothers and their mothers were in exploitative relationships. And that is why we, the current generation, are not putting up with the bare minimum. And like I have always said, social evolution skipped men because traditionally a man is supposed to go out there and bring in the bacon, provide financially for his entire family, and the woman would take care of the home and the domestic front. However, in modern times, women are providing. Even in America, there are more women who are breadwinners in their families compared to men. So women are providing financially, and at the same time, most of these men expect the woman to do everything in the domestic front. How does that make sense? That is why a lot of married women have a lower life expectancy and are dying early, because most married women and women who have children and are in relationships are very stressed. And this dude have the audacity to sit there and go like, that is how it was written. That is how it's supposed to be. And if you love me, stop using love to bamboozle women into being in an imbalanced relationship where they suffer and they are the ones putting in a lot. Stop weaponizing love as the way to exploit women and ensure that you benefit from a relationship, but the woman barely benefits anything, but is given a lot more just to be in a relationship with men. You cannot make this up, and it does not make sense. If you're a man and you cannot even afford patriarchy, please do not expect a woman to provide a 50-50 relationship and at the same time do everything in the domestic front, treat you like a king, be submissive, be agreeable, be physically fit, have a flat stomach, have no cellulite, have no stretch marks, and just be perfect. That is delusional. It is not real. My name is Dr. Zita. I am a sociologist. You cannot make this up.
All right, Madam Sociologist. So
Madam Sociologist.
so with all, because when she was cooking, I'm not gonna lie, she was cooking. But with all that being said, she didn't call out the flip side. You gotta flip it. You gotta flip it. Flip that bullet. You gotta flip it. So what she's
Bullets don't flip, but go ahead.
but no, because what she's saying is, like I said, I agree with it. But at the same time, at the same time, men can't say they require women to do all of these other traditional things while at the same time being non-traditional. Women also can't do that same shit to men.
Huh?
Women can't do it. Women can't say it's a man's job to provide this, that. But I'm not gonna be a traditional woman. I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna do this. But you still gotta be the traditional man, even though I'm not gonna be traditional. So it go both ways. Both people can't. One person can't say I'm not gonna be traditional, but you're gonna have to be traditional. And you know what I'm saying? You can't have two people doing that shit.
Well,
You know what I
okay,
mean?
okay. I get what you're saying. So, in hindsight, say a woman wants a man to be traditional. She wants him to pay all the rent and all the bills and all these things. She has to understand that submission comes with that full submission, not that half-ass shit. Not that if he's a masculine man, he has to put me in my submission, or he has to put me in my feminine era type shit. So, I do understand what you're saying. Like that comes hand in hand. But excuse me, I just drank some water. um, a lot of that hasn't been said in these conversations, and then there's another little nice power dynamic that gets thrown in there that it hasn't been talked about, but I seen it on my Facebook. I think I posted it. I might could pull it up, but anyhow. One of the guys was like, if a guy cheats on you one time, that doesn't mean you leave him, especially if he's a provider, he's provided for you and all this other good stuff. And her rebuttal was like quite performative, but it was right on. Like, okay, so I'll kill someone, but that doesn't make me a murderer,
Well,
Like that
it
was
all depends. It depends if you just driving and you 100% sober and you roll over something and it pop your tire and you hit somebody and you kill somebody, but that doesn't mean you're a murderer. I get that. I get the concept that she's coming from. If somebody makes a mistake in a relationship, and it goes for a man or a woman, if they make a mistake in the relationship, this is just my personal opinion. Because for a lot of women, that's a deal breaker. Oh, I can't believe you did this shit to me. Right?
Mhm.
But in my opinion, I think a conversation needs to be had. Like, only if you want this shit to work. And if the individuals are going to be honest, if you're going to be honest and say, this is why I did this shit because you was lacking here and you was lacking there, then, and if you want shit to get better, fix it, then you have to own that. Or you can just or after the conversation you can just say screw it. But I still think an honest conversation needs to be had about the topic. Go ahead and play your video.
Before I play the video, I want to welcome Wall Street Killer to the live and the one and only Neo One Love, because there's only one love. It's only one love. It's only one love. Welcome.
Thank you.
Where you at, Mrs. Fields? I know Mrs. Fields is out there. Click on the link.
Welcome to the panel, you guys. Welcome back, Wall Street.
I had to hit that link quick because I heard somebody say about the mistakes and the accidents and everything, and it don't make you what you are. But goddamn it, cheating ain't no accident. We not about to play that.
Wait a minute. Let me play the video. Before you get it.
All right, I'll put it on mute.
Say it. Ladies, it is dumb to leave your man because he cheated.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. That was stupid as shit. That was the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Let's unpack this.
Now, if he's a cheater, yes, but because he cheated...
Did I murder someone? Yes. Am I a murderer? No.
What you gonna do? You gonna find you another man that don't struggle with infidelity? We all do.
He said, oh, what you gonna do? Well, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna pack my shit, and I'm gonna get the on. Y'all say men are the logical leaders of the world. Okay, well, a good leader can practice self-control. Would you feel comfortable living in a kingdom where your leader falls into temptation every single time they're tempted? Would you feel comfortable living in a kingdom where your leader is so distracted by the enemy's temptations that they can't even protect said kingdom that you reside? So sick of all the excuses that y'all done concocted. I can't, it's filling up my fro. You've filled up my fro with this foolishness. They talk about, well, men are just visual creatures. Well, everyone has eyes and everyone is attracted to somebody or something. There will always be a person, a woman prettier than your wife, prettier than your girlfriend, just like there will always be somebody that has a bigger wallet and a bigger penis. So we need to start using I statements. I am a weak man. I can't practice self-control. I fall into temptation. People use generalizations and say things like, all of us do this, all men do this, all women do this to feel better about their actions because they know they wrong. If I didn't wash my ass, I would say things like, all women don't wash our ass. Yeah, we all do it. Who is we?
And if there's a man out there that's telling you he don't, he lying. But don't take my word, boy. Tell me this. How many women you know that hasn't been cheated on? Don't worry. I'll wait.
Yes, let's normalize cheating because we've all been cheated on. While we're at it, let's normalize drinking and driving reckless, and not wearing our seatbelts. Because tell me this, how many of us have experienced a car wreck?
I said it was theatrical, but it was panel. Welcome, brother, but the wise and the only, the wise one, the wise elder, Moody Wise. Welcome.
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Which one of y'all idea was that video right there? Don't ever do no shit.
Your sound is stuttering, Mugabe.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
It's just going every time you talk.
How about now?
Same thing.
All right, I'm gonna go out and come back in. I'll be back.
Right on.
Yeah, I agree with the woman on this one, like all the way. And the guy's lying. He's just a cheater, and he wants everybody to feel like all men cheat because that take the pressure off of him. But I ain't never cheated on a woman in my life. I ain't never done it. And he said, I'm a liar. So any nigga say that's lying. I ain't lying. Look, all my exes don't live in Texas, but they are all they all activities on here, and can't none of them come on here and say I cheated on them.
You know why I think the video was good?
Why is
I
that?
think the video was good because both of them had a slight point, but both of them were overwhelmingly goofy as hell. And I think at the end, the thing to take away from it is she's salty. He's not. And I think that says a lot about kind of the current dynamic and who they were both catering to.
Wait, but he wasn't right. He said he used absolute all men cheat, and that's not true.
Yeah, nah, that was the goofy part. That was the goofy
The
part.
whole point. He was saying you ain't got no options. You know, like that's what he was telling her.
And that's like what I took away from it was what he was more or less saying was it's more than likely you're gonna go through this. So if you do go through it, do you just throw away the relationship? Now I agree to say that's super goofy.
If he said that, yeah, I would agree with him on that. It is most people, women or men, are cheaters in this, current culture. But he's sitting there trying to enforce what we have to face. When I say we, I don't mean all men. I mean all men who don't cheat. Because y'all cheaters, y'all deserve what y'all going through. But the men who don't cheat, we got to deal with this when we get in a relationship with a woman, because she gonna automatically think we all cheat because they already had this stereotype. But now he's coming along and seconding that emotion and strengthening.
Yeah, yeah, but you know your value as a man. So who you choosing then? Why you choosing a woman like that? Where's your red flags at? You be paying attention to your red flags?
A woman like what?
A woman like, if you get in a relationship and you automatically can see that you're gonna have problems instantly, why are you in a relationship if you're already good anyway?
I'm saying when a woman comes in a relationship, most of them, I'm not gonna say all, I'm not gonna do it.
But you can't blame them though, because you the man.
Right, I'm not blaming.
You chose her. You accepted that.
Let him get it out, Gary. Let him get it out, Gary.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying most women come into the relationship thinking men are cheaters. Because most men are cheaters, but not all men are cheaters. And I'm saying I'm one of the ones that's not a fucking cheater. And I shouldn't have to deal with the fact that all these other niggas can't be fucking responsible with their dick. That's not my fault. I didn't do it. But I gotta sit there and face this fucking consequence from the rest of y'all weak ass niggas who be cheating on these hoes and can't control your dick. That's what I'm saying.
No, you don't.
Sitting there trying to.
No, you don't. All you gotta do is get a chick with some sense.
She's sitting there trying to. I mean, he's sitting there trying to put this shit into women's head more than it already is by a man coming on and saying all men cheat.
I would never accept a woman that even comes at me like that or says anything like that, especially at the beginning of a relationship. That is a red flag to me. She's got problems. I don't have problems. I don't need no stress in my life, so I ain't even gonna go that route. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna wait. As a man.
She might not say it. She just might treat you that way. She might have that.
And that's nowadays. You know what I'm saying? It didn't used to be like that. I used to just fall for shit like that. But I'm getting older and I'm the time's going by. So it's like I value myself a lot more. I take more pride and I pay a lot more attention when it comes to like entering a relationship or meeting a woman, or the challenge to me is just like, if it's just not like so peaceful, the challenge isn't peaceful, then that's why I'm still single. I don't want none of that. I work too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even going to accept a woman that brings any type of drama to my life, period. So the cheating is definitely not even going to.
I'm big on simple science, right? And in simple science, when you're doing experiments and you're trying to figure things out, one of the most important factors is environment. You know what I'm saying? There was a time when the average man had to literally dedicate his life to a woman, like get married just to smell the box.
Type shit.
Now, you get a bottle of Casamigos, throw on some sexy red, and it's up. Somebody ready to go.
Well, I want to
environment
one who
plays
talks.
a part.
I want to ask you, what did he say in that video that was true.
There was one part where he said, the only part that I'll say that that made sense for me, he was saying, more or less, if a woman finds herself in this situation where a man's cheated, do you just throw away the relationship?
But that
And
ain't
when
what
I
he
look at some very,
Hell
very,
yeah, because it took her to a certain point in
when I
her
look at
brain to
some
get
very,
to
very
cheating on you.
intelligent women, when I look at some of the most intelligent women, some of the wealthiest women on the planet, they did not do that. Hillary did not leave because her relationship facilitated her becoming what was she? The general or the something? She was something. Secretary of State, right?
Yeah, Secretary of State. Yeah.
Her marriage helped facilitate her becoming Secretary
Yeah,
of State. So she
that's
didn't
it.
throw away the marriage even in that situation of infidelity. Shit, a cookie still with magic. That's
Let me put
wild.
the scenario on. Let's say you being totally faithful to a woman. Let's say you a guy like Neo who don't cheat on women, and you being totally faithful to a woman, and she cheat on you. Are you gonna stay with her?
She was fucked up from the get-go, and you shouldn't have been with her. Period. You gonna know if a woman's even like that, bro. You gonna know.
I agree with you, but this brother. Well, most of the time you ain't gonna always.
You gonna know, bro. Like it takes a couple times to get it. We as men, we got to touch the burner a couple times to realize. But we eventually come to a point in our life where it's like we value ourselves and the things we do and the time we waste and the skills we give away, working hard. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want no drama, bro. And we gonna take our time when it comes to a good woman coming in our life. Period.
I think it's too many relationships.
Okay, hang on,
I think
y'all.
it's too
Hang
many
on a sec.
relationships that broke up over infidelity just to assume that all those people were stupid and they just didn't know. To say you're gonna know, I don't think that's accurate.
All right,
I don't think
let me hang on,
Man,
y'all.
you've
Hang
been
on,
through
y'all.
it enough.
Hold on,
You've
y'all.
been
Hold on,
through
y'all.
it enough. You ain't
let
gonna
me wind this back in.
you gonna have zero
We kind of got
tolerance for
off.
anything.
We kind of
You've
got
been
off
through it
track. We
enough.
kind of got off track. We talking about infidelities. What's going on, Coach? We talking about infidelity. The topic is power dynamics. I'm about to play another video about power dynamics.
So
This one is about submission.
before you drop the video, though, all right, guys.
Women don't submit anymore. No.
No.
Women don't submit to you. Women are natural to submission. I don't care how strong and independent she is. So here's the disconnect. Are you looking for forced submission? So ask yourself, why won't she really submit? Here it is. Women are not their grandparents anymore. Okay. Women are not looking for a husband and to become a housewife and to bear children. No, they're not looking for that anymore. A lot of women come from a split home with a double Dutch dad who jumps in and out of their lives as he chooses. Do you display wise leadership? Do you give a good sense of direction? Are you dependable? Are you consistent? Are you trustworthy? How can she trust your direction? Every decision that you make, you have to run to mommy to help you create that decision. How is she going to follow a boy? She got to sit on her and put on her big woman panties and raise a boy. So what sense does that make? When has a teacher ever submitted to a student? She's raising you and you want her to submit to you. Yeah, I'm gonna take it there. Yeah, we fall for the okie doke. A lot of women fall for the okie doke because a lot of boys pose as men, and eventually time and circumstance manifest that unreliable, irresponsible, inconsistent, unfaithful child that boy actually really is. So yeah, we fall for the okie doke because I know a lot of y'all gonna come to me about that. So how can a woman feel safe in a chaotic environment? So ask yourself, are you reliable? Are you consistent? Are you trustworthy? Do you make her feel emotionally, mentally, and physically secure? Are you emotionally available? Many women want to feel secure and be vulnerable. But how can she be secure and be vulnerable and even submit to you in a chaotic environment where you display poor leadership skills? So before you go and decide that you want to ask, why won't she submit to me? Why women don't submit? Women don't do. Ask yourself,
Are you a man worth submitting to?
Power dynamic right there.
Another goofy.
I had muted everybody, so the video. Unmute yourselves, everybody that want to speak.
I'm gonna give this a thumbs up.
And welcome to the stage. We got Coach Ferb, we got Gary, and we got Honey Clark. Everybody, welcome them to the stage.
How y'all doing?
I'm trying to welcome everybody.
Can I please say something? I'm begging y'all. Can I please say something? I'm begging y'all. And listen, man, it's no knock to a woman.
I ain't gonna say wait a minute 5,000 fucking times. That's what I ain't gonna do. Rules are rules. Don't be over talking to everybody. Give everybody time to talk and land a plane. Damn it! Don't
Get
be
to your
long
point quick, because we don't want to have to get the muting and kicking people off. But when we want to have a civil discussion.
Go ahead, Gary. Let it rip. Go on. Get it.
I promise, Morphine. Listen, what I don't get is like how does every animal have different women as a male animal, right? Listen, not only that, but I want to know if a war happened right now, how many women is gonna be out there fighting on the battlefield or be taking care of their men and their children? How many women? So all of that shit you're talking about is like, he can be stupid all day long, but he gonna go out and die for you. Period. It doesn't matter, none of that. So that's why we always deserve a chance, and that's why you need us just as much as we need y'all, even though we came from y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's vice versa. Like, you can't just automatically just shit on us, and you can, at the end of the day, you could build a man from the bottom. But we're the ones who date down. We'll take a woman from Arby's that don't mean shit, and we own our own business and build her up and give her her own business. What woman does that? We date down. We're the true lovers. So where I want to hear what y'all got to say after that. Anything.
There's a lot of dudes living on a woman's couch right now being built up.
Right? But I'm saying I'm pertaining to what she talking about. I'm trying to hear what she talking about. That's what I was answering. I ain't talking about what she was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I respect all of that, but what she said had
we got it. We got it. God damn, we got it. Okay, we got it. Now, I don't know how old you are, but I think you're in your 30s, so that's easy to
34.
Yeah, that's easy for me.
No disrespect. I mean this with all respect. You know,
listen,
no disrespect, Murphy.
White boy, please be quiet. Please. I know you got a lot to say. Just be quiet.
My name's Gary, bro.
Okay, Gary, I'm sorry.
I'm a man just like you. We put our pants on one leg at a time, bro. You feel me? Not a white boy. I'm not a white man. I'm not none of that. My name's Gary.
Gary.
I respect that.
Hold on. I'm muting everybody. Hold on. Let's get this out the way. Show mutual respect to everyone, please. Everyone, put it to where Morphine, put it to where you can see people's names on the screen. Everybody, let's be respectful. All right, now I'm gonna unmute you guys. Well, unmute yourselves.
My take on that whole conversation about submission is it's not realistic. Again, I'm going back to simple science. It's not realistic for the environment we're in. We're in a very equality-based environment.
I would say.
Okay, go ahead, Trey Fire. It was on you.
As man, we're looking at it a little backwards. As a man, and as you grow into your manhood, you have to find out who you are and chase who you are going forward. Meaning, if there's anything that you like before age 21, you have to sort of bring it up to par, because you're looking at yourself, how you want to live. You don't acquiesce to a woman acquiesces to you. Meaning, if you a guy that you know you smart, or a guy that you know you good with your hands, you should constantly be striving and building in that capacity in your best years of your life. You can't wait till you get 55 and say all of a sudden I want to be a millionaire. It starts early. And as you grow your skills, understand your mindset, what your triggers are, because I'll think about it. A lot of y'all are fighting with the same women that grew up with y'all mamas and y'all aunties. They grew up with y'all. So it's hard for everybody to say, how can we work together? Because all of y'all were affected by the same dynamic. Black women just have a little a little more confused because they still been given handouts. As a man, you ain't been getting no handouts. You've had to work for everything.
Man.
And this is your time in your life where you can just be, you have to sort of be selfish in a sense. If you don't have children, don't have a child out of wedlock. If you have a child, you almost had to go get that child to save your child, because what I'm seeing in a lot of these spaces are guys that they'll come on and say, I'm this guy and I want to be this guy, but we still leave people behind. If you want to see that generational wealth, you put all of that energy into your son and your daughter. You can't think about the mother. You can't be sleeping with her if you don't want her. You have to let her go, but you focus on yourself. And if you're doing that, continue to do that till you come to an age of reason. And closer to 40, you'll understand what your true self is and what your desire and purpose in life is. But you can't get that to that destination focusing on women. I'm not saying listen, I'll be a fool if I say don't sleep with a woman. I'll be a damn fool with your man waking you up. What you have to do, you have to be very choosy. You have to be very selective in how you do it. And if she's not forming to your movements, then you can't chase her.
Period.
You can't, and you can't waste time when you know who either don't have your best interests at heart, or you looking to just use her. If you're looking to just use the
I have a
woman,
question.
have fun and move on. Other than that, I'm gonna tell you, black man, between 21 and 41, that's your greatest time. After that, you start to age out in society. Fuck relationship, because the world ain't gonna hire you to work unless you create your own. But you'll miss a lot avoiding that between 21 and 41. You can gain all that skill right now. It's at your hands. Take advantage of it. I digress.
All right. Go ahead, Honey Clark. You were saying something?
Are we going to talk about what the lady said?
That's what I mean, he's
I mean, because
definitely
he
gave
was
some good
talking
valid
about
points there.
submission in
Well,
today, and nobody said anything about it.
Shit, I did.
And Kenny acted like it couldn't happen.
I gave
The
y'all all the
problem
reasons
is
why
that
we
it takes
deserved it.
time for it to happen. And in today, people want to microwave a relationship.
Right.
For
And
what
that's
to
where I was
happen?
saying, because the topic really is like power dynamics in a relationship. Like in the beginning, we went over, power, the construct of power, dictatorship versus democracy. Who exactly is the leader, XYZ, and that's where the 50-50 came in before this submission, because those are both key components to power dynamics in a relationship.
Yeah, but I mean, I like the way that the lady, when she spoke, a lot of men kind of think that submission belongs with money.
No.
When money comes with submission, and when she
No.
explained it, she's letting you know, like, it has nothing to do with how much money you have, all the other stuff that you do. It has to do with how you're treating her and how you're showing her how you lead yourself and how you can lead her,
Right.
and that she could trust you in that. But you can't microwave that. So if people aren't going to take time in a relationship, how can they find any kind of dynamic?
Yeah, but if y'all been programmed a certain way, how do we get to a submission level with
If
y'all?
you have to take time. Ain't nobody programmed. You have to take time. It
Y'all's
comes
programmed to
automatically.
be men. Y'all's programmed to be independent women and be proud of that.
And
That's a
as
man.
an independent woman, you can still be submissive to your man.
Yeah, but what woman is though? We could do it. I could do it.
Me?
I'm romantic. I'm everything in the world, bro, and I
Oh,
still
well,
don't have a woman.
hang on, Gary. Hang on, Gary. Check this out. Michelle
That's
Obama is
wrong, bro.
absolutely
That's not
an
right,
independent
bro.
woman. Hang on,
Men can
listen,
live at
listen.
Starbucks their whole life
Hang
and
on,
never get
hang
no
on, hang
pussy. A
on, hang
woman will
on,
Come
hang
on,
never go
Gary,
without
chill.
having
This
kids.
dude is venting.
Yeah, I got he vented. Hang on, Gary, because I'm trying to speak. Like,
My bad, y'all.
Michelle Obama, even what he brought it up earlier, Hillary Clinton. These are all very independent women that would be just fine if they didn't have their husbands around. But at the same time, they understand the dynamic of their relationship. They know when to fall back. So a woman can absolutely be strong and independent and still fall back in a relationship.
That's true.
Absolutely.
So
And
then the
like she
question
said, and like
becomes.
it, go ahead. I'm
So then the
sorry.
question becomes: in their dynamics, is submission a requirement? I don't think Obama requires Michelle to submit. I think most successful men now with successful relationships not only have their women submit to them, but they submit to their women as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that my wife knows better than me.
True.
When it comes to picking the kids' schools and things, babe, I submit. You do the footwork on that. You know the best schools, whatever you want to do. So when we
Period.
even have that whole submission conversation, that kind of clouds the conversation of power dynamic.
Well, me and Timothy is threw that in there when it comes down to allowance. So if the
I
person is
did.
allowing you to do something, isn't that taking leadership in because you're allowing them to do it? If
Right.
you would never allow it, they can never do it, right?
Right. So the example I gave earlier was I was talking to my homeboy and he was talking about like his wife is better with money than he is. So he's like, okay, go ahead and do the money. That's your thing, you know. I'm gonna fall back and let you do the budgeting.
I
And he
submit to
was
that.
like, but this is the thing
Me
though.
too.
He's the one that had the plan. The doesn't the leader make the plan? So if he's like, oh, if he's saying, okay, boom, you better than this at me, you go ahead and do it. So I can't. An example, a sports example will be like, I can't throw the ball. You could throw the ball, so you should be the quarterback. That's being captain. That's being the leader. Like, okay, you the fastest runner, you're gonna be the running back. You the
Very
biggest
true.
dude, you're gonna be the center.
Right.
That's the
Yeah.
leader, right?
Timothy, it's all a military strategy when it comes to that, because a great leader understands their strengths and their weaknesses, so they delegate other people in positions to take care of those other strengths that they lack. That's why most generals are successful, because remember, they're not even out on the battlefield. They're back at the tent where it's nice and warm, but they've delegated individuals who they know are trustworthy to handle those positions and the pressures that come with those positions. And that's where the dynamic is. And all of the guys that spoke, it seems even the examples that were given, both of these couples were married. This gentleman, he's married. It's a different dynamic when you are married. Some may think it's not, but it is a different dynamic, because if somebody gets hurt and you're not married, and there's money involved, somebody's going to be shut out of that dynamic altogether. But if you married, you're tied to that capacity. And the unique thing about it, Hillary Clinton and Michelle Obama, they was with their prospective husbands when they had nothing, and they grew together. So it's easier to understand. If you haven't gotten to that space, you can say and shoulda, coulda, woulda to most of it. But unless you're in that space, it's hard to really see how it works in that dynamic, because I can cook, but my wife does all the cooking. Anything outside, I'm up on the roof, I'm hammering, nailing cars, whatever. Anything inside, she's cleaning the carpets. And women have to understand, they have devices today that make their job easy. Ain't nobody on no scrub board. They got dishwashers. Think about it. And it's easier and it's more healthier for the children and for the woman to make a home cooked meal, but nobody does that. Everybody wants it quick, easy. I want to be out. I got to wasting money, because the dynamic is changing. So it can work. It's just that, what do poor people want? Do we want to stay poor, or do we want to transition out of this dynamic?
I
I
just
think
wanted to.
absolutely
Can,
has
can
to.
I go?
Jessica.
Hey everybody.
Hey.
How you
So
doing?
I just wanted to add that as a wife of 15 years, I'm a traditional wife. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I raise the kids. I do all the housework. Submission was never a conversation that my husband and I had. It never
That's
came
my
up.
point.
It never came
That's
up.
my point.
I saw, but I'm kind of going to what the young lady said in the video. I could see his consistency, his dedication, his loyalty. I could see that he was going to be a great husband, a great man, a great father. So it was like, it just, it just was never a conversation because he showed me those things. No different than in the dating phase, you know, when we were getting to know one another. I showed him my wife abilities just like he showed me his husband abilities. So it just wasn't even a conversation ever. As a matter of fact, if you were to ask him, am I a submissive wife? We don't even use that word. He likes to use the word cooperative. We are a team. We work together. I do for you, you do for me. So I think a lot of times in this new, I don't know what the hell going on, but in this new age, like she kind of said, if you're demanding um, submission, if you have to ask or require it, then I think it's time for self reflection on why you're not attaining that.
Agreed.
Because you're missing something. That doesn't mean you're a bad person per se, but there's just something that you're lacking that shows a woman like, I really like him, but I don't think I could put my full trust and my full everything into him.
I want to second what you're saying from my marriage. Yeah, nah. Submission for us in conversation is more of a joke than a requirement.
Type shit.
Like how I talked about picking the kid's school. And when I just don't want to decide certain things, and yo, look, babe, give me like I submit to you. I trust your leadership. Lead on this one. Like in good
Yeah.
relationships, that's not even from my experience, not even really a conversation. So I agree with
At
what
all.
Sis just said. And again, for me as a man, and this is something I would share with a lot of my brothers who think they require submission. Me personally, I don't want a woman that necessarily has to submit to me. I want a woman that's gonna make me better.
Really now.
And if you're
Period,
just
bro.
and if you're just following and listening, you can't make me better. Sometimes I need to be checked. You can't do that if you're just submitting.
I get. I'm gonna say this though, as far as I'm gonna get with a celebrity or a powerful man, I put them as the same. You know, you might not consider a politician a celebrity, but I do. I'm saying that's all on the same level. When she gets with a powerful man, a man making that type of money with that type of power, because with money comes power, I think she automatically comes in understanding that she's gonna have to submit to this man and gonna have to be his second, his neck. He gonna be the head and you gonna be the neck. That's how that's gonna go. They automatically know that. Just like if I got with Oprah Winfrey, I'm gonna be submitting to her. She's the one that's powerful right now. I would look like a fool trying to run her and me when she's the one that got everything together. So I think that's different. I think Michelle Obama absolutely submits to Barack. And he might submit in certain ways, but we don't see that shit.
I can tell you this, brother. If you believe that, you did not read Obama's book.
No, about reading his book. I said we don't see it.
No,
You
I'm
ain't
saying in his
Michelle.
book, he was abundantly clear. Like
Man,
he listens to her a lot.
his book. I'm talking about what we see as Americans. What we see is her submitting to him. We don't ever see him submitting to her. Like, okay, I'm gonna take the low road. We ain't never seen that. When we seen Michelle take a leadership position, it was when Barack wasn't in the picture. We didn't see Michelle taking a leadership role while Barack is right next to her. We never saw that.
I gotta disagree with that. Just going off his own words, I think she was very much a leader in his home and in his life,
That's not
which
what
is
I'm
what
saying.
allowed him to become what he became.
No, I
He
know.
always credits her with that.
I get what you're
But is
saying.
that more a leader or support? A help me.
I think they have a dynamic of balance in their relationship that allowed them to do something no black people have ever done. And I'm saying when I go back to simple sciences and I talk about environment, right? We're not in an environment where submission is honestly for me necessary to be able to build. It's like Sis said, cooperation. That's the key.
Not in these positions. You're not
Because
in the positions we're talking about, president or a celebrity of any sort. Somebody that everybody knows their name right now. We all know these household names. We know these people. Their woman is going to submit to them. Period. That's what Michelle did. That's what I seen. I don't give a fuck what she do with her household. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about what goes on. I'm talking about what goes on in the public eye. We see her submitting to his authority. That's what we see. He is absolutely walking in a position of leadership in his household, not just in the country. He's absolutely walking in the position of the head of the fucking household. And that's all I'm saying.
Morphine, is it okay if I ask the men on here a question?
Go forward.
I want to know what man on here don't wish or don't thrive to have a whole house or a mansion or whatever, take care of their old lady and her not have to work and her could be a stay-at-home mom. Or she could work if she wants or do whatever. You'll help her build her business, whatever. But what man on here don't wish for that to happen?
Well,
that's not their dream. That's like not what we're born for. That ain't what we're bred for.
Can I say this though? Can I say this? I'm not a man. I can't answer that question. But what person on this panel don't want to work? Like really, real shit.
Right.
If you couldn't work and you could make money, we all would sign up for that shit. Like all of us. It's not just a gender thing. Like well, men are supposed to not want their women to work. Nobody wants to go the fuck out here and work. But
I know, but I'm just saying. But after the men didn't say nothing, and I knew that was right. Now about the women. Now, what's y'all's going like? Is it the same as ours?
It should
be.
be.
Is it? Do y'all want to die for us? Do y'all want to build a life for us?
So
That's all I wanted to know.
Personally speaking, as probably the only stay-at-home wife and mother on the call, this was something that we agreed upon before we even got married and before we had children. And
right.
we said that when there would be small children, that I would stay home. That means at least up to 5 years old when they start attending school. When my first two sons started school.
So where's the 50-50 when it comes to eternity and one life?
50-50. The 50-50 came into
I'm saying, are y'all mutual agreement with the same thing for us? Y'all want to see us? Y'all want to live for us and die for us?
Baby, if
Let me
that's
answer that from a
in
man's
your
standpoint.
relationship, if you want that,
I'm just saying. I'm just asking the question. Y'all got good
Ask that
views.
question to men. Let me answer that
Well,
as a
here's
man, right?
Yeah, I mean, you
Hold
kind
on.
of
we
cut
never
me
got
off.
a chance to answer
Let's
the
get some
question.
order. Let's get some order going on, people, please.
Yeah, because I really wasn't finished. What
I'm
I was
sorry.
Real quick.
What I was going to say is that we made that a priority. We had that understanding. And the reason that, we all have our own reasons for doing things. We just think that that works better for our family. As far as what the 50-50 is, at the end of the day, I get to raise my children. My husband doesn't have to worry about the children. My husband doesn't have to worry about the house. The man goes to work. He comes home. When he come home, he don't have to lift a finger. He don't do no dishes. He don't cook no food. He might fold some towels because he ain't allowed to fold nothing else because he suck at it.
Do you know you're like 2%?
Hold on. And then, like, for example, I'm cut from a different cloth. When it's time to go outside and do the yard work, I'm out there on the riding lawnmower while he pushing the push mower. Okay. So it comes to teamwork. So a lot of times people need to get this 50-50 out their head and think 100-100.
Yeah.
We're both giving 100. We're just giving it in different ways.
Oh, 100%. Listen,
hold on, Jerry,
I'm not
hold on.
knocking the 50-50. I'm saying I
Hold
will
on,
pay
Jerry.
all the bills. I
Let
will
me
take
bite
care
on
of
that question
everything.
you asked, right? As a man, let me bite on that question you asked. Me, I don't wish I had that. The reason I don't wish
Why not?
that I could just have my wife sit in the house and do nothing is because she doesn't want to do that. And she wouldn't feel like she would attain her total thing. Like, I'm trying to prep her for a run at politics.
I said
You know what I'm
that.
saying? Like,
I said
so
that.
people, what I'm saying. I wouldn't necessarily want that because I know she doesn't want that. And
Right, but I said that though.
it hasn't taken away from any of the things that I would require for my home to make me happy. She still cooks those meals. She still gets those kids, pick them up from Kumon, work on the homework with them, and still does what she does as well. Now,
100%.
she could on my salary, sit home and not do nothing. But our
Period.
trips wouldn't be as fly as they are, and we wouldn't have as many options in life if we didn't fully optimize who both of us are and what we bring to the relationship. So to
Right.
answer your question, me,
not say
no,
that.
I don't wish for my wife to sit home and do nothing. That would make her miserable, and she would drive me crazy.
I didn't say that. I said help her build a business, help her do whatever she wants to do. But if she wants to stay home, she can. I'm saying that ain't what we dream for. You just told me everything I just said. That's what
I'm
we
saying I
dream
don't
for,
dream.
bro.
I don't dream for that.
But what
I
do you
don't
mean
dream for
by
that.
that?
You
I think
just said it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I've reached that point.
He said,
I've reached that point where I could offer that, right? The reason why I don't dream for that is because of the woman that I met.
That's all
And
I
I
want.
now dream for us to reach an optimal level where both of us are using our skills and being great. And with how great my wife is in her field, it would be it would be retarded for us not to fully capitalize on everything. So that
You want
means
her to be
her
as
being as
comfortable as she can, correct?
both of us.
You want
Most
you,
importantly, the
but both
kids.
of okay, you already are. But I'm saying you want her to be as comfortable as she can, bro.
Well, let me
Right?
say something.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna say this.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's
I
what
don't
we live for. That's what we are born for. That's
I
all
don't
I wish right now I could marry a woman and make her as comfortable as she can be.
A dream and an expectation is two different things.
that
As
part.
long as I'm working for, whatever company I work for or whatever companies I work for, it's not about the company. As long as I'm employed and I'm filling out W-2s, I don't expect her to be able, right now to be able to just not do nothing and just live off of my income. I don't expect that. If I got this record deal I'm pushing for, all that would be different. I would totally be with a submissive woman that's a housewife and cook, clean, and all this type of stuff because she wouldn't have to do nothing else. That's what I would be looking for then. Right now, I'm looking for somebody to help me with these goddamn bills. I mean, shit.
Man. It just hurts that our whole creation is dedicated to a woman and a woman's creation isn't dedicated to us.
Did it the way I wanted to.
That's all I'm saying, bro.
Isn't
That's the whole
dedicated
moral.
to you.
Anything.
Isn't dedicated
To
to you.
men. To men, we're dedicated to women. I wouldn't even want to be here if it wasn't for a woman. I wouldn't want a nice car. I wouldn't work
Every
half as
woman I've
hard.
ever been with has been dedicated to me.
Frame that, I'm gonna say she would be doing what she wanted to do. If she wanted to go open up
You
a business,
found her, bro. Good job, bro. That's not everybody. That's not the majority of the world, or
Wow.
even 70%.
All right, well, let's go around the
This the
field.
thing though. This the thing
Brother
though.
Moody
This
is the real belt.
yeah, Mugabe, you've been quiet, bro. Let's check your sound. Let's check. Oh, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead, Neo. Neo wasn't finished. My bad.
Mute me.
yeah, I'm like, that shit didn't just fuck me up, but yeah, I'm trying to say that what I expect and what I dream for is two different things. Yes, I would want her to be able to do whatever the fuck she want to do, help her open a business if she wants. She could be a humanitarian, but I wouldn't want her to be employed just, if I had the option. But right now I don't have that option. So I expect she gonna, I'm gonna have to be with someone that is employed, is bringing something to the table and this, that, and the other. But if I had the success that I'm really after, then no, she wouldn't be. She would be a house woman and starting her own business or something.
Because that's what we live for, bro. That's what we're born and programmed for.
I want to go around the table. Let's ask. Are you done? Yeah, he done. He done turned off the mic.
Can I present a question real quick though?
No.
But before you present the question and change the narrative, before I want to go around the table because this is a good question that Mr. Gary put on the table. Moody, what's your response to that, brother? I kind of know, but fuck it.
No, I don't really. How's my audio? First, can you guys
Audio
hear
is
me?
perfect, brother.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Yeah, I don't really see the big difference in what any of you guys are saying. Everybody's saying pretty much the same thing. So it's not like it's the dynamic is the dynamic. It is what it is. So I don't really have a anything to say outside of what's already been said on that note. It's men are programmed a certain way, women are programmed a certain way, and that's not going to change within our lifetime. It just is what it is. So
Yeah.
the brother that said men are programmed or men are trained to take care of women, that's just the way it is. Women aren't programmed or women aren't trained to take care of us. It's just the way it is. That's it's just the
Man,
way it is. A man
y'all
get it.
got it hard on this dating scene.
Yeah, a man. No, I'm not saying it's hard on the dating scene. I'm just saying socially, us as people, it's hard to find a woman that's programmed to take care of a man in totality the way that men are programmed to take care of women in totality. And I'm not saying it's good or bad, I'm just saying it is. And I think that we keep trying to figure out ways to augment that, and we can't change that societally. If hypothetically, if like brother Neo just said, if brother Neo was to land that record deal, and all of a sudden he's up, and he found him a woman that he found fell head over heels for, nobody would say anything to him if he started to fully take care of that woman. But now on the flip side of that, if a woman was to land that record deal, and she
She gonna
found a
go buy her
man,
a bag. She
and
gonna go.
right, what I'm saying, she's not
The love
she's gonna
isn't
get
mutual.
her social circle is go is gonna talk to her, go talk down to her if they find out that she's fully taking care of a man. They're not gonna say, "Good job, girl. I see you in a leadership position. Way to take care of your family." Women are not gonna say that for the most part. They're gonna be like, she's gonna get called all kind of names. She's gonna be called dumb. She gonna say they gonna say she's getting used. She's being manipulated. This just the society we live in. Is it a double standard? Absolutely. Is it going to change anytime soon? Absolutely not. And I land the plane with that.
I let me just jump in. I think it's already changed. Like, so when I hear brothers say we're trained to take care of women, the first thing I want to know from that brother who says that, anytime I hear that, is have you ever fully taken care of a woman in your life? And if you haven't, does that mean you failed? If you're saying this is what you were trained for, and you have never been in a position to accomplish that, then you're setting yourself up to be a failure as a man by your own standards. Now, I also say this, right? If you look at
I
Jay-Z
didn't
and
mean
Beyonce,
train,
right?
bro. I didn't mean it
Hold
to
on,
be
let me
like a
finish,
tactical
let me land.
word.
I'm still in the air. I'm still in the
It's
air. I'm
in
gonna land.
nature.
I got my parachute on, I'm gonna hop out. I ain't even gonna land the plane. I'm gonna let the shit crash. But people, right? Do you think that because we all know Jay-Z could take care of Beyonce and all the kids 10 times over, right? Do you think he really wants that? Or did he choose his woman
No.
because she was building an empire of her own? Then when they put their empires together, we got 10 houses in Calabasas. See,
Or did
we gotta start talking about choice, right?
or
So
did he get with Beyonce and help build her motherfucking career to who
I
she
think they
is?
both help.
Just saying.
I think they both help build each other. Even if you
I think
just
they both
simply
help
look
build
at
each other.
Really?
her
Jay-Z's been
first
out since
album,
1992. I don't
No,
know about
no,
that,
hold on.
buddy.
We're not
even
gonna go. We're not gonna go it.
You're not gonna move the goalpost. We're not gonna move the goalpost now.
All
Let's
right.
stay on
I'm
track. Let's
sorry.
stay on
I'm
track.
sorry.
no,
I'm gonna
I
keep it
responded to that. I responded to that.
No, no.
When they got together, his career was dying. The run was up, right?
But
Her
why is
album,
Jay-Z so smart? Why does he
hold on.
got so much
Her
money?
album,
What'd he
Dangerously
do?
in Love, with
Beyonce.
all those songs. And listen, I've been drinking, right? She helped keep him very relevant. they built a strong team
He
because of
wrote
what they
that.
both brought to the table. You get what I'm saying?
But I
I'm,
think
And so
looking at
I'm not saying that men and
can I
women are
say
not
this,
as
please?
powerful in their own entity. I'm not saying that, bro. I'm not saying that women can't be independent. I'm just saying that we have a vision to have a family and to die with the family, and we would be cool with just that. We don't need to be rich. We don't need to have flashy shit. We are simple people, bro, as men.
I think
That's
that's
all
you.
I'm saying.
You gotta say that's you.
Now this the thing. The whole gist of it is like, to go back
All
to
right, bro.
Gary's
You're above
initial.
all.
Oh, go back to. I'm trying to respond to what you said, bro. To go back to what you said initially, I
I don't
don't.
want an extraordinary woman. She don't gotta
I
look
don't.
good.
I
She don't
don't.
gotta.
Dude,
She gotta be good.
dude. So what it is I don't think men, any natural man, I should say, wants to be in a position to where his woman is taking care of him, unless he has something going on in his head to where he want to go to his wife and say, "Baby, can I have $5 to get a beer?" I don't think most men want that, unless, like I said, they got something going on in their head to where they got that going on. But like I mentioned earlier in the show, human beings are the only animals that I'm not saying I'm any type of scientist or nothing, but we are the only animals that I have observed that intentionally go against our nature. You know what I mean? Like we're the only ones that analyze our own instinct and try to either justify it to say why it should be this way, or justify why we shouldn't do it. And it's odd to me, because it's like, as a man, I'm not built to have a baby. I'm not built to breastfeed. You know what I mean? Our children are born very, very vulnerable. So, okay, you got this baby, stay here, and I'm gonna go out and do what I gotta do so I can come back and bring you food so you can make sure that our baby survives. That's our nature. That's instinct. But we go against that for whatever reason. We've created a society to where women
I can
don't
tell you the reason.
necessarily need, my air quotes, women don't necessarily need men to be those providers, because they get money and stuff of themselves. They doing it.
I'm gonna go a step past that. Just to answer what you're saying, I'm gonna tell you why. Because most of the men who talk about that can't provide that. That's the conversation where it gets real uncomfortable, right?
But
How many guys saying that this is what they want, what they shoot for, the natural tendencies, can actually provide that?
Well,
And so I
let me
think a
pause.
lot
Let me
of
pause you
brothers,
right. Let me
I think
pause
a
you right
lot of
there,
brothers
brother.
don't
Let
understand
me let me
the
pause you right there. Let me pause you right there. It's a cultural thing, because we all over the country. I'm in California. Some of y'all on the East Coast. Some of y'all in the South. Some of y'all up north. And everywhere you go, there's a Home Depot. And you'll go to that Home Depot and you'll see Juan out there making 50, 60 bucks a day. And his woman is understanding her role and letting him understand his role. So even though he might not be able to provide to the maximum potential of manhood, he's still providing for his family. And Martha is understanding that. Martha is saying, "Hey, I'm gonna make sure that Juan have a hot lunch, so he when he get to work and put in those hours, he's all right." So it's not necessarily predicated on money; it's predicated on culture. If you
I
were,
think
if your culture says that these are the cultural norms of the gender, you're going to move in that manner. If the culture says that it's not the cultural norms, you're going to move different. And what we see as African Americans and younger people here, those of you that are young, we're seeing that we're saying fuck that culture. We're trying to reinvent the wheel, and it's not really, it's going to be counterproductive in the long run. That's all we're
See,
saying,
here's the
brother.
deal though. Here's the deal. While,
He married with a
while
good
he's
woman,
at Home
bro.
Depot, Margarita is folding towels at La Quinta.
Here's the unique dynamic of that. Being in America, and that's why I go back to far as being able to change the dynamic for you individually. All of us may aspire to be millionaires. However, how many of us are willing to put in the work that is required? That's the trick bag right there. You can. I hear a lot of black men, especially in the late 30s and 40s, talking about I'm gonna be this and I'm gonna be that. Then you're basically 20 years behind. So it'll take you another 20 years to really achieve that, unless you create something that is going to change the world. We're trying to reinvent the wheel. The earlier you start with this dynamic, the greater opportunity you have to achieve that goal. It does not change, fellas. Only things that's changed in the last 20 years is the players, not the game. The only added option going now, everybody says entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is versatile. It's a chameleon. Entrepreneur learns the different strategies of everything across the board, not just based off what they feel. You better go read that damn literature, because regardless, you still have to, it's almost, you still have to present that to those that can assist you or hurt you. You can't bypass that.
Hey,
So
I
you
got.
go understand those skills.
Shout
It's
out
not
to
that
Amir
hard.
Simmons in the chat. Shout out to Mr. Simmons in the chat. I'm reading.
No, Miss Skills wanted to say, Jessica wanted to say something, and Neo wanted to say something at the same time.
Just real quick, I was just gonna be the oddball. Yes, I understand that men want to, provide. That's what they see. And sometimes, if you're an average earner, you feel that, you may not necessarily be able to do that, and that's completely understandable, especially in today's economics. But my husband's a high school teacher, and we all know high school teachers don't make that much, right? We live a very comfortable life. So on the flip side, it's not just only up to men, it also has to be up to women who want to do that and be at home. And then they have to understand that, you can't go get your hair done every 2 weeks. You
Now
can't
we're
go get
getting
your nails
somewhere,
done
sis.
every 2 weeks. You can't
Fly
go
that
on
plane, sis.
vacations and buy Gucci bags. And me, I'm a plain Jane. Like, I don't wear makeup, I don't get my hair done and all that other stuff. I know how to spend, I know how to live within its means. I don't want for anything and I don't need for anything, but even so, anything that I request is always within reason of
Fly that plane, sis.
of his earnings, you know. Um so a lot of times women too have to be more realistic. If you want somebody that's going to buy all of that stuff and do all those things, and you want to stay home and he's an average earner, that might not work out for you too well. And
I
men
like
too.
her.
If you
I
see
like
that
her.
woman is all about just all this other stuff, you know what? Yeah, she might be fly and you might want to smash it, but you might want to pass it up as far as a wife and a mother and establishing a future with
Man,
her, because you can't keep up with it. And I
You would
land my
think
100%.
that is, simple logic to most men,
Yeah.
but they like that fucking extravagant shit. And as
Ma-
a person that wears weave, I probably wouldn't be for you because it's expensive.
Yeah, go ahead, Neo.
Yeah. So I just really wanted to make 2 points, and they're really questions, and y'all can respond to them if y'all want to, if y'all feel the need to. First question, is a 2-part question, so wait for the second part. First question is, how many societies, because we established that in this society, it's the man provide for the woman. So how many societies in this whole entire world is there where the woman is the fucking breadwinner, is the fucking go-getter, is the one that provide for the man, and the man nurtures the kid? How
There
many?
ain't any.
Not many.
There ain't none.
So
I
wait,
wouldn't say none, but not many.
wait. I ain't seen that.
There is none.
I'm
There's
at,
none, bro.
second part of the question is, so if this is the case and there is none, because I don't think there is none either. I might see a woman in a third world country providing for a husband that's crippled, but I ain't talking about that. I'm saying where the norm in that society is the women go to work and the man stay home. So that's what I'm talking about. The whole society like that. All the men sitting there taking care of the kids and complaining about the women coming home and just going to sleep and going back to work. I'm talking about that type of shit. How many societies is there like that? And the second part, if there is none, if you're going to say there is none, you didn't say that it's nature and not programming from society, but actual the genetic makeup of a man to be this way and to behave this way? That's what I'm asking.
So you
It's
saying it's not
natural.
toward behavior? Is that
Well,
It's natural.
Mr. Love? Are you saying that's not toward behavior?
No, I'm asking their opinion. I don't think it's taught behavior. I think it's
Right.
genetic.
and that's what I said earlier. I agree with Neo. I said earlier that we live in a current society around the world where, especially, but I'm gonna say around the world, I mostly say in Western civilization, and people that are adopting Western civilization are actively trying to go against nature and instinct. We are purposely trying to reverse, bro. We've given it a name, gender roles. You know what I mean? It's how is it a gender role for if you carry the baby and your breast produce milk that you got to take, that you should nurture the baby? How is that a role? Ain't that nature? Like
That's nature, bro.
don't
Listen. I'm the one who said the training or the programming, but I swear to God, I meant nature, bro. It's in nature for us to feel like that about a woman, bro. It's in nature for us. We're born like that. That's what I meant. I didn't mean trained or programmed, because maybe it might feel like that, but it's not. It's nature, bro. It is. Y'all's right about that, bro.
So again, for me though, for me to go back to simple sciences and answer his question, I would kind of answer that question with a question, and I would say, what other point in society, in history, were women able to accomplish the things that our women now are able to accomplish? So if we have a completely different dynamic on what a woman can, a lot of dudes' favorite term, bring to the table, or what a woman can accomplish, is it not just simple logic that roles, ideas, thoughts are going to have to change with that?
Exactly. You're right. And women are up and coming still, bro. Because in other countries, they're still not. They don't have the rights that we have. You know what I'm saying? In the United States, they're still up and coming, but they're nothing like it used to be.
But we're talking about us. We can't apply our lifestyles to Somalia. We can't apply our lifestyles to Venezuela or nothing like that. We live in probably the greatest nation ever in history. So we got to talk about what's going to work for us. We're not dealing with women banging on wood, making tapas and taco shells. You get what I'm saying? So if we live in a dynamic now where women can accomplish more than ever before, and we can be the beneficiaries of that while still being great ourselves, doesn't it make sense to change the thought process and
No.
change the logic? And that's what I think a lot of my brothers aren't capable of doing.
And hold up, we might have more than them, bro, but they're at more peace than us. Their women are more happier. They cannot look as good, or they can make the tacos and whatever, but they're happy doing it, bro, and they're happy families and stuff. That's what I
pretty
want.
peaceful.
Are they
I'm
though?
pretty happy.
So how we know how happy they are? Are they?
Because you watch so many people and so much stuff that I'm going over there. They're why is Africa still together then if that's not the case? Why is Africa so strong then if that ain't the case?
Are they happier without education? Are they happier without
Africa's strong, bro.
By what?
How many white people and Chinese and all of that live in Africa, bro? The Africans do as much as they could possibly do, and they stand together as people, bro.
Let's slow down. Let's not bring in outsiders that come in to rape the land of resources and minerals. Let's focus on the African people. By what metric are you considering African people strong?
What do you mean? Why ain't they strong? Ain't nobody took nothing from them. Ain't nobody taking nothing from them.
Oh man, bro.
Who's taking what are we taking from them?
I gotta send you some
What did they
links
not bargain for? We don't buy from them. What did we took from them? What did we took over? Why is Africa still Africa then?
Look, wait a minute.
Don't do that, bro.
I just want to make this point. I just want to make this
you
one
think
point.
just because you're black, you know more?
I think just because I know more, I know more.
No, you don't.
Me being black.
You don't.
You're not.
Can we
I can tell you right now. I can tell you what the Wagner Group is.
Let's move from that point. Let's move away now because I don't want it to get out of control. I don't want it to. Come on, Ferg. Why you do that?
Y'all crazy, bro. Y'all don't make no sense, bro.
Wait a minute.
Nah, my point is though.
Everybody pause. No, make a point. Wait a minute. Let's take a breather. Let's breathe in and breathe out. Cause I'm gonna forget everything the fuck I said because y'all got y'all little thing going on. So
what's wrong with your sound, Ferg?
What's wrong with your sound, Ferg?
You're muted. I know I want to talk. Just tag me in.
All right, so I want
You're
to say
muted.
I can't believe y'all.
Can y'all hear
I
me?
can't believe y'all, bro. I'm blown the fuck away by y'all.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, just turn it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can.
I hear you. I hear you more.
Y'all blow me away, bro.
This is
Hold
what I
on,
want to say.
Gary.
This is what I want to say. In these conversations, right? It's going to fuck around and come full circle where what Gary is saying is like, all right, listen, we as men are programming our innate, like our instinct is to live and die for a woman. A woman that is not programmed to live and die for us. Well, babe, that's called hypergamy. You know, we natural selection. We select the best dude, and if he ain't the fucking best, we gonna move on to the fucking next. You know,
No matter how good he treats you.
It's not about how good he treats you. It's about how she feels that he's treating her. It's not about how you think you're treating her. It's about how she feels of treating her. Now I'm gonna
right, but that don't
How many
suck
black
though,
women
Morphine.
practice hypergamy?
Pause.
Morphine, that don't suck for us though.
Let me ask you a question, Morphine. How many black women practice hypergamy?
Oh my God, pause for a second. Let me give y'all what y'all asking me for. Okay.
I'm listening.
On the flip side, for a woman, right? She'll be on some you'll figure like, yo, you're not giving me everything that I want in a woman. I want this, I want that. I was thinking this is my expectations that I wanted in a woman, and you're not giving me that shit. That doesn't mean that she's not a good person. She's not a good woman. You're leaving her because she's giving you everything you needed. No, in her mind, she might figure that shit. In her mind, and you might be doing. She might be doing everything she can, but in your mind, she not doing the fuck enough.
But don't that make us different? Because we don't think like that.
Now, hold
We'll
on.
work with you. We'll deal with shit for years.
I want to
We'll deal with your kids, with your 3 kids, with your 6 marriages before us. We'll deal with all of that. Y'all won't deal with nothing like that.
You saying that if that's a good thing.
Right. So I want to get in here and bring it back to what Neil was talking about. I want to wheel this in before we veer off too far. So going back over to what Neil was saying about these societies, and off the top of my head, you know, a larger society around the world. No, I don't. I've never seen that. I don't think there has been one in history. But when you look at the advancements in our current society where women were allowed to step into different roles, are those countries further along than countries that still have a super patriarchy to where women can't speak unless the man say something? So you know, if you so you gotta,
we're way further along.
Right. So is it necessarily bad to have
We are horrible right
a shift in power dynamics, like to where there's some equality? Because at the end of the day, there still has to be a leader. That's what I was saying. That was
Now we're having a logical conversation.
That was my
agree.
initial point, is that at the end of the day, somebody has to make the plan, and whoever makes the plan is the leader. So, like,
I want to point out. I want to point out homie in the chat though. Homie in the chat, Hamir Simmons. Shout out to Hamir. Hamir's in there making some very good points. You get what I'm saying? But one of the things
that's my homie.
One of the first rules that I have just for me personally as a man is you have to have attained the success that I want to attain for it to be worth it for me to listen to you. That's number one. And this is just men. Women are completely out of it, right? You can't tell me much about marriage and the things that I aspire for if you haven't achieved those things, right? That's number one. Now, two, when we go into that societal breakdown, yeah, most of the societies in the past were completely dominated by men. Now, when we look at the societies now that are completely dominated by men, A lot of them don't even have a Chick-fil-A, right? Like a lot of them have starving children, warfare, pestilence, and death.
Oh man.
So now I step back into my Black American shoes and look at the world, right? And look at the world I'm in and say, what is best for me? What is best for me is a woman that I can build with. I don't think women, even in our dynamic now, require to just be completely taken care of. I think most of them that say that are lying to us, lying to you, not even lying to themselves, because they don't even believe that. You get what I'm saying?
No, that's not
Look,
what it is.
can I say
hang
this,
on.
please? Can I say this,
Okay,
please? Please
go
let
ahead,
me
Mr.
Yeah,
speak.
Abbey.
Let me speak.
because I'm thinking
Let me speak, please. Please let me speak. There's a gigantic pushback from young women. There's a gigantic pushback from young women that are out here saying they want to be taken care of. There's a gigantic pushback of women saying that they're tired of going out there working 50, 60 hours a week to take care of a family.
Man,
There's a gigantic pushback of women. Now, these aren't men, these are young Black women that are
I gotta
saying,
totally
oh,
disagree with that.
and I don't know what rock you've been living under, but there's a gigantic pushback of young Black women that are
I can
saying
tell you.
that what our aunties and our mothers taught us about this being strong and independent and not needing a man, that shit is that's a farce. That it is
nothing
not
else.
it is not conducive to making women strong. And to give you an example, right now we see the highest instances of mental health disorders with young women. Young women are having breakdowns because they have to participate in the same world that men been having to participate in for thousands of years. It's not natural for them. And to speak what the brother
It's
said
not.
about it, the brother said, well, where is the world where men are in total control? They're starving to death. Have you been to Dubai? Have you been to Saudi Arabia? Have you been to some of these other countries? It works, brother. And I'm not saying that women have to be
It
proverbially, and I'm using
works.
my air quote, barefoot and pregnant, but to put a woman in her more natural state. Her more natural state is to be
She's more peaceful.
that nurturer, is to be that person that takes care of the family, takes
I
care of
got you.
your ass when you ain't right. Now, and I'm gonna give
I
you
got you.
another example.
no Neo.
Morphine said something about evolution and genetics. There's a reason. There's a specific reason why, no matter what culture you go into across the world, I don't care if you go to the Nilotic Africans, which are the tallest people in the world, or you go to the Twa people, which are the shortest people in the world. Wherever you go in the world, the men are always considerably larger than the women. Everywhere you go, America, South America, Africa, Asia,
Mhm.
men are considerably larger than women. Why is that? It's a thing called sexual selection. Women by nature, they choose men that they think can be providers and protectors in the sexual marketplace. That's the reason why a guy can be a hell of a dude. If he's 5 foot nothing, 5'1", the women laughing at him. A nigga can be a whole scumbag out here. If he's 6'5" or 6'6", he's fucking on 6 or 7 women at the same time because
True.
women innately see this bigger, stronger man as a person that can provide and protect. Is it always true? No, but the psychology of a woman's hardware is saying that this
I
man
got you.
has what it takes to be a provider and a protector. So there's
Now,
something natural about this shit. And I think that's why we see a lot of pushback from these young women. They're like, I'm tired of working 60 hours a week. I'm tired of having to do all this shit by myself. I want to be able to step into to my feminine energy a little bit more. And there's
Man,
nothing wrong with that, y'all. There's nothing wrong with that.
So I
And
now
I'm
want to
two
laying the
quick
I
plane
just
there.
things.
want to say
Just two
I
quick
love
things
that
in
I don't
response.
work.
Just two quick things
I
in
want to
response,
respond
right?
to that, man. I've been trying to get in, bro. Like y'all been cutting me
Okay.
off every time.
Now you good. Go ahead, King.
So what I'm trying to say is a couple people have said that in this current society, women working, we got far ahead and all this type of stuff. Now, I don't think that's a fair statement. First of all, I've been trying to say that for the past 20 minutes. I don't think that's a fair assessment because before what 1960, women didn't have a right to vote and probably work in this country, and we were still light years ahead of these countries y'all talking about. It had nothing to do with women working that put America ahead of these countries, ahead of these third world countries. It's just the power dynamics in America. We was already a superpower. Russia was already a superpower. Germany was already a superpower before they gave women rights. I'm not saying it's a bad thing necessarily, but I am saying that wasn't the reason America was light years ahead of these other countries with no technology and no advancement. That wasn't the reason. It wasn't because women went to work or anything like that. And since I'm not finished, and since women started working, and it's been less that would take the other parent out the household, and there's been less parental supervision in this country since then. We've watched a downtrend of the family, of the American family. The American family is probably one of the weakest family structures in the world as a result of this. Now, you might see that as a technological advancement is justifying, you know, the old ways wasn't right. But to me, the old ways were more right because we sacrificed our family structure and our children for technological advancement and making sure everybody in the household is working and contributing to this family instead of somebody being at home delegating to the children and stuff.
Right.
All right.
And
Jessica had her
can
hand
I
up.
say something, y'all?
Jessica had
Can
her
I
hand
can I
up.
say
Go ahead.
can I say something? Is it cool?
Yeah, real quick, and Miss Fields is right after you. Don't be long-winded, please.
All right. And like I said earlier about the growth of women is still going, man. The only reason that a woman hasn't had a presidency yet is because all these other countries don't have rights for women, and they would frown upon us, and they would think we were weak, and we would get charged for that, man. That's the only reason a woman ain't been a president yet. And it's not to say that it's not going to happen, because it is. It's going to happen. There's going to be a woman president, and there's going to be a male woman president. There's going to be a gay woman president. It's all going to happen. It's all eventually it's going to come to that, bro. And it shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? It's in the Bible. It's an innate. It shouldn't, but it is. It's all coming to that, bro. I don't know what y'all think about this eclipse, but all kind of shit's about to happen. And remember, I said that because we ain't gonna get too many more of these podcasts.
Go ahead, sis.
Well,
All right.
well,
All right, Jessica.
well, first, if you didn't know, Germany actually had a woman president for like a whole, like, I
Angela
want to say,
Merkel is her name.
yeah, Angela Merkel, for years and years and years. So there have been women in that high of a position, but that's not what I wanted to.
I'm
That's
not
not.
cutting you off, sis. I want you to take off. I just want to build on your point. She led a lot of other world leaders, male world leaders, for years. Her
Yes.
German position was extremely powerful. Go ahead and
Are
finish,
y'all
sis.
really representing the Germans right now? Are we
I'm
doing
half
that?
German.
Is that
She's
what we
German.
doing?
Miss
I'm
Fields is
half
German.
German.
She's German. Yeah.
I'm German.
Man.
Miss Fields
And
is
in the
German.
time of her
Go
presidency,
ahead. Let Miss Fields finish, though.
Let me
Let her jump back
finish,
in.
but
I
you
ain't mean to
said
cut you
something
off,
what
that
was
sis.
Germany
going
No,
is
you
on though?
good. You
president.
good. Because we don't even need to get
Because
into
she
all
made a
that.
very valid point. Go ahead, sis.
Anyways, what I wanted to go back to what Neo was saying, where we are sadly in this country, our families are one of the weakest families. So I just want to give you a really quick story that I actually posted on my timeline. My husband is a high school teacher. A few weeks back, he chaperoned a field trip to the zoo. So they go to the zoo, they get back. Well, right there was lunchtime. So Ethan says, "Hey, Dad, can you stay and have lunch with us?" So, of course, Billy being dad, he stayed and had lunch with him. And so, like, 10 kids were just surrounding my husband. And he was just like, okay, whatever. He's used to it. He's a teacher. So he said, we're sitting there joking and clowning. So the boys were talking about having a girlfriend. So they asked my husband, well, how many girlfriends do you have, Mr. Fields? And Mr. Fields said, of course, I got one girlfriend. So Ethan says he's married to my mom, stupid. You know how kids talk. And the looks on their faces were saddening for my husband. Because you
Right.
had kids there saying, you mean to tell me your mom and your dad live together in the
Yup.
house?
Yup. They do.
Man,
So
dude, you
to
so hold on. And he can, the kids continue like, man, dude, you don't know how lucky you are, man. I hardly ever get to see my dad. Man, you don't know. And these are fifth graders I'm talking about. Man, we don't
so
hardly ever get to see our dad. So
I want
that
to follow up on your
statement is
point.
true.
I want to follow up on your point, sis. So
No.
to the overall conversation, it's not the advancement of women that has destroyed the family in America. It is the destruction of values, morals, and priorities that has destroyed America.
But that comes without
Marrying that woman that you've had a baby with is no longer the priority. There was a time
Yeah,
when a
I'm
man would put his whole life on hold because he has a baby coming, and that was the priority.
should
That's
always
died as
be.
well. So we can focus on women and do a lot of blaming, but there's blame to be
No,
held
we
on both
didn't.
sides.
Nobody blame women. Nobody blame women. I was the first one to make the point, so I just want to correct it and clarify what I said, just in case it's misconstrued. Nobody's blaming women for this problem. I'm saying the American society has the American household with both parents busting their goddamn ass to the fucking
Right,
knuckles on their bone
right.
every day. You spend more time at work than at home. There's nobody home to tend to the family, not even the man. Even if they let women working at the man stay home, somebody got to be home for them babies, and that's what I'm saying. We're in a society where it takes damn near a two-parent household just to afford the fucking mortgage.
And ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's
And
true.
real
Something
quick,
is
So the
wrong with
answer,
Nothing
that.
wrong with
so the
that.
Absolutely
response to
something
what
wrong
you're
Hold
with it.
saying,
on. Hold
so
on,
the
brother.
response to what
Absolutely
you're
something
saying,
wrong with
you
that.
know what the
No.
things that
Hold
are wrong
on,
with?
hold on. I don't want to have to
Hold
mute
on, hold on.
people. I don't
Stop.
want to have to mute
Pause for a
people.
second,
I
bro.
don't want to have to
There
mute
is
people.
something wrong with that. That means there's
Absolutely
some
something wrong.
that literally means there's something wrong with the economic system in America. It mean if it takes two adults to go out there and work 50 hours a week in order to maintain a family,
Yeah.
something is inherently wrong with the economic system. And to go back to further go into something Neo just mentioned, do you guys realize that there was a time when daycare was not a business? And let me say this again. There was a time when daycare was not a business.
Right.
Back in the day, that shit did not exist the way we see it today. Fast food restaurants did not exist the way we see it today. Elderly care facilities did not exist the way it did today. Why?
And it
Because there
worked
was
better.
say the reason why that's important is because prior, when the economic system was more equitable for people to go out there, like give you an example, my grandfather, literally my biological grandfather made $12 an hour, 12 bucks. And for 12 bucks an hour, and my grandmother worked a part-time job. For 12 bucks an hour, he was able to buy two houses and support five children. That them days are over with. Them days are
Right.
over with, and we're
Absolutely.
seeing
Those
we're
days are not
seeing
over with. They're
tho-
not over with. They're not
those
over with.
days are over with,
He's
brother.
saying that he's saying they're over with for the average man. Like the majority of men could have shared this type of story that his grandfather shared about
Right.
taking care of his family and buying these houses. They can't do that anymore.
But what he's
It's
speaking
rare to
from,
see a one income household buying a expensive ass house over $150,000 right now.
Right.
It's rare to see that.
Those days are
I
done.
got
Like
it.
that. You got to
So
remember.
here's my question. Here's
Can
my
I can
question.
I fin?
I
I'm gonna let
got
you.
Do
I'm
it.
gonna
you
let you ask your
continue to
question in a second,
complain
brother.
or do
I'm
you
gonna let you ask.
adjust to your environment?
I'm gonna let you ask your question in a second, good
Good.
brother. What I'm saying is, yeah, we're all gonna have to adjust. We're all gonna have to adjust and adapt. But we can't sit here and say that one system, the system of old, was necessary. We can't go back. Once the seal been busted,
Thank
the seal is
you.
busted.
Thank you.
So now we got to
Thank
learn how to move forward and still keep a semblance of
Agreed.
a regular family. We still have to have a regular family dynamic, but we also have to say that, hey, baby, guess what? You have to get off your ass and go to work too. I'm tired of working 60 hours a motherfucking week to take care of these bills. I'm tired of I'm literally working myself into stroke syndrome, heart disease,
Right.
high blood pressure because I got a lot of pressure on me. And yes, you have to deal with a woman that says, "Hey, I don't want my man to have to be under that kind of pressure." So, like Miss Field said, yeah, a woman has to be comfortable in her femininity to say, "I'm not gonna put no undue economic pressure on my man. I'm not
Right.
gonna sit up here and talk about I want Gucci bags every time one is released. I'm
That
not gonna
part.
want the new weave
But
every
those are
time some
learned
celebrity
behaviors.
show it. So
Right.
it has to be give and take on both sides. So we can't look at my grandfather. If I look at my grandfather, I'm a failure. If I look at my
Absolutely.
grandfather, what he
And you know
accomplished,
something else though, Mugabe, that you're leaving
what's up,
out
bro?
is that back then, because like my mother's 77 years old, and my mother had to work back in the days until my father got to a position to where he couldn't. When you look at a lot, the society was built to where a lot of times the black men and black women always needed a two income, and they have it displayed in all like the true
There you
stories, like
go.
the true stories. They make all of these movies where you see the woman be a maid and the husband working
Absolutely.
in the mill or something like that. It's always so this whole notion of the woman working has never really been a our culture thing. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Right.
It's never
Thank you, brother.
like and as far as if we want to talk about like when Neil hang on like when Neil was talking about the whole female led society, like as a whole society, no, you don't see that. But when you just whittle it down to the ethnic level, we the ones with the big mamas, we the ones with the matriarchy society, we the ones
Thank
that
you,
revere
brother.
our women, we the ones that so a lot of this gender war and all of this stuff that we have now, I personally just think it just comes from one generation failing the other to the point to where these younger generations are aspiring to be something outside of the culture. And
Bro,
I'll
we're
I
land
don't
getting
there.
think they I
worse.
don't think they understand basic economics. I think when you hear these young people talking all this shit about, oh, I need to be fully taken care of, or I'm not gonna do nothing for a woman from the man perspective, they're not
Mhm.
understanding the economics of the times we live in. The economics of the time we live in is like we need each other. Period.
And so
And
look,
and,
I got a,
and, and,
I got a
and
question.
and
even
so to go back to my point, to go back to my point about
Go
to go
ahead. Go
back to
ahead.
my
King.
point about very simple sciences, right? Environment dictates a lot. So we can continuously look back and we can look at third world countries and how they're running things there. The reality is you can go live in Somalia right now and have 3 wives if you want. But you're going to sacrifice certain things that where we are right now, none of us are truly willing to sacrifice. So the question is, how do you win in the
Yeah,
environment that you're in? And the reality is the best way to win, when I look at very successful families and couples, when I look at Jack and Jill families, someone's gonna understand what I'm saying. Jack and Jill families, right? Which I'm applying for, and I'll get back to that later. But it comes from optimizing what both partners can provide, and both partners can knock out 40 hours a week and balance out maintaining a strong family.
All right, can you can
There
you
were
can you stop
times,
there?
there
Can
were
you stop?
times
Wait,
when
can
one
you stop?
parent, there were,
Can you stop
hold on, I'm
there?
not
Can you
finished.
stop there? Stop right
I
there.
wasn't
So
finished
I
though.
want to ask Gary, as as a Caucasian man, right, that sees shit not from a black and white standpoint.
bullshit.
Let me break it down.
Bullshit. You got me fucked up, Morphine.
And why you gonna
I'm the
ask
I'm
him
the
that
whitest
question
black
speaking the
dude
way
you'll
he
ever have on your
speaks?
podcast, bro.
All right, so do
Grew up
you
just like
understand when
y'all,
You
you
right
can't
next to
ask
y'all
Gary
family.
for a white opinion.
You can't tell me shit.
y'all
Your
yeah, I
culture's
don't I don't
mine,
think he
bro. I'm
has
just
a white
white.
opinion.
started getting
That's my point.
triggered.
You can't ask Gary for a white opinion.
You can't do that. I feel uncomfortable around my own people. You can't do that to me.
That's my point.
Regular white people don't fuck with me, bro. Y'all
That's
barely
my
fuck with
point.
me.
I'm sorry, Gary.
Like his baby mama on government
I'm just
assistance.
saying,
That's
like,
what he's
go
trying
ahead
to
though. I could try.
I said I'm sorry, and he still
I could give you a dim
He
perspective. Go ahead.
apologized, Gary. He
I could try to reach into
apologized,
my
brother.
white side real
Can
quick.
you reach into your white side for a second?
I can try, bro.
Hold
Go
on,
ahead.
but let me finish up though. The conversation was about
I
power
never got to
dynamics,
answer
right?
my question, and I've been quiet on my own goddamn show, so y'all gotta give me
You have though.
like goddamn. So,
I
Karen,
want to know what you about to say.
because I
See if I
really
can
was,
answer.
he fucked up my
No, sure.
As a Caucasian man, Gary. From did you view yourself as grooming your family as a one income household? Is that something that you aspire to be, knowing that your ass grew up blackity than a motherfucker? So you probably don't know.
Listen. My stepdad was black. He worked every day of my life. My mom was white. Right? He worked 6 days. He became the supervisor. He made $12.75 an hour. He came home, gave my mom all his money to pay all the bills and shit, right? So listen, we always had our family and shit living with us and shit. And his family was my family growing up. So we had black and white mixed family. It might be my mom's white brother and his black brother. You know what I'm saying? Them were my uncles, period. You know what I'm saying? But like at the end of the day, that's what was going on. But my stepdad never hit my mother, never did anything bad to my mother, never even called her a bitch for 6 years of her life. And he was one of them black men. You know what I'm saying? He was raised by a good black family, bro, that had mad respect. And my mom was the worst to him, and I hate her for that my whole life, because he was always good to me and showed me really good things. Worked on cars, taught me how to work on cars. I was always, when I went to jail and shit my whole life and ran away, he always came to my court dates when my mom was on drugs and cheating on him and fucking his brothers and doing horrible shit. You know what I'm saying? So I miss that dude with all my heart, man. And if I could bring him back before my mom, I would. You know what I'm saying? But like, so it's hard when you ask me them questions. There you go. There's a little bit of personal for me. You know what I'm saying?
But you
And that's
didn't
not the
answer my
answer she
question.
wanted.
You
She
never
wanted
answered
to
my
ask
question.
that question to a MAGA white, not you.
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that for you, Morphine. I'm sorry. I told you what I know. That's how I was brought up.
Question yet?
Did you ever? Do you
you can't answer
aspire
that.
to have a one income household?
I believe in that. I mean, I believe in it, but like I said, nowadays I'm with the change in like everything that's going on. Like if she wants to build a business, I'm going to do everything I can to help her build and do whatever she wants to do. If she don't want to sit in the house by herself and take care of the kids, cool. What do you want to do, babe? You know what I'm saying? I believe in that. But at the end of the day, I believe I'm going to get with a woman. And if she makes more than me, I'm going to figure out how to make more than her so I can take care of her if I need to, because it's like in my nature. I just feel like I'm a bitch if I can't take care of my family. What type of man am I? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if some shit happened? Like, I'm supposed to be the man to step up, and be able to take care of my family. And if I'm not, that's going to break me as a man, because I strive so hard and I'm willing to go that hard.
Let me ask you
that's
this.
a great. I think
Can
that's
you
a great question
can you
for every
take
man
care
in the
of your
family.
family making less than your lady?
Making less than my lady? Oof.
Can you
I
take
just
care of your
told you
family?
I couldn't do that, but I
What
would
I'm
figure
trying
out
to
how to make more
establish,
as a man.
what I'm trying to
I can't do
establish
that.
is it strictly a monetary thing? Can you take care of your family making less than your woman?
What man would want to feel that way?
Absolutely.
What man in this world would want to feel that way
Listen,
as a man?
hold on, Garrett. Hold
Real
on, hold
quick.
on. I understand where he's coming from. I
Oh,
understand where he's coming from.
Stop attacking my
I get it. I just want to say, when I worked, I actually made more than Billy, but he still took care of his family. I just brought my check to the table and we did whatever.
And to the host, let me land the plane real quick. To the host, let me land the plane real quick. Like, I make less than my wife. We both do extremely well, right? So we can both build with each other. So there are still roles that I don't lack in any shape, form, or fashion. Why? Because we're blessed that financials will never be an issue for our marriage. That's a blessing. But even making less than her, there are still certain positions where I am the man in this house. I make a certain call. But like I said prior, when it comes to where my children are going to school and stuff like that, she does the research. Listen, Queen, I submit. Go ahead and pick the school, and I'm gonna put on a tie, and we're gonna go to the orientation.
Well, let me ask the
So
panel this
my
of men.
man, hold on. Let me land it. I'm landing it. I'm bringing it in. I see the runway. Hold on.
Hang
I
on,
see the
one at a
runway. Let me
time.
land the plane.
One at a
Let me land
time.
the plane.
I'm gonna start muting people and stuff. I don't want it to be rude.
I
Come on.
wasn't finished. Let me land the plane. I see the runway, right? So my point in saying that, right, to just tie it all up and button it all up, we have to look at the environment we're in. At some point, someone was talking about women want to be in their feminine like they want to sit home. What I'm trying to get my brothers to understand is that's not what they mean by being in their feminine. Because what they're way more proud of is their degrees and their disagrees and all their accomplishments, right? It doesn't mean when they say they want to be in their feminine, it doesn't mean they don't want to contribute.
All right.
So the bigger issue is finding balance. We kind of got completely off of the power dynamics, which I wanted to discuss. Go ahead.
All right. Well, let me get all right. So
I'm gonna just
let
hop
me
out.
go
I'm gonna pull a parachute. I'm gonna just let
We're
it crack.
always striving to be better, Morphine. So if I get with a woman, I've been with a woman that's made more than me, and I'll stick with her and everything. But eventually, I'll figure out how to make more. You know what I'm
All right,
saying? I'm gonna
let's
do
unpack
that.
Let's unpack that. Let's unpack this thing. Okay, it's not getting off of the subject. This is definitely on subject. Let's unpack this shit.
Yeah.
Why isn't that? I got a statement before a question. Why isn't? And I made this statement before. I'm gonna make this shit again. Why is it that y'all men, and I mean y'all that it applied to, not those that it don't? Why is it that y'all men think that money makes the man? I never understood that shit as a woman. Just never compute to
Because
me.
that's what
Maybe
women
because,
say, and that has been the
I'm not, no,
historical
that's not
setup.
the question. That's not the question. That's the statement.
Because I'm answering you. Because that has been what every man, besides me has said to you. Hold on, I'm answering it. What every man besides me has said to you is that has been the historical setup.
I'm about to start.
Mute the whole panel and let her finish speaking.
Right, that's what I'm about to do, man. Go ahead,
Okay,
Keisha.
you're triggered. So that was my statement. My statement is money don't make a man. But I want to unpack the logic behind this shit because I am a female. I can't tell y'all men or influence y'all men how to fuck the feel. That's not what I'm on. I ain't never been on that. If that's how you, if that's your intent, that's your fucking what I would say, your instinct, that's your instinct. I want to unpack that shit. So I want to go around the room and ask, this is my question. Fellas, do you envision your household being a one income household? You know, now I heard Gary's, I heard fucking Wall Street. I'm gonna go down the track.
I'm actually retired as of 2022, 54 years old. I have my retirement income and I do have some other income, but my wife does work and her contribution is 100% towards the house, just like mine is 100% towards the house. So
let me ask you first.
All income as adults should contribute to the upkeep of the home. That's just my opinion.
Let me ask you, Ferg, real quick, OG. Do you think she
let's go around the panel.
Let's go around the panel before people start asking questions and derail.
Go ahead, Ferg. I'm muting. I'm just gonna have to mute people. This is what it is. This is what they want.
You ain't gotta mute me. I'll chill.
No. You know, for my situation is uniquely different from most other people. But I will say this, and you can do your research on it because I don't do research for people. since 2022, you need $10,000 more to have the same lifestyle than you needed before COVID.
Goddamn
So
right.
if you're not contributing to that capacity, then you're going to remain in a lower income bracket. And my last point, I put the numbers for women who spend over $1 trillion on personal products for themselves. Has nothing to do with the home, has nothing to do with the children going on vacation. So as a man, if you can get your woman to save at least half of her money on her personal products, and you can invest into the home for 10 to 15 years, it will pay you back quadruple when the time comes. Other than that, you'll continue to live from check to check, and nobody will get the income or the resources that they desire based off chasing it. If you chase money, you'll forever be broke. Digress.
Now, can I ask the OG something real quick? As the big homie, let me ask you, being that you're married, and I have a high respect for that, right? Do you think that your lady would be comfortable in a position where she couldn't contribute?
No, because my wife talks about it all the time.
Thank
If I didn't have the job that I have, I would go work at Walmart just to make sure that we have everything we need. She's not above reproach.
But that's not what the host asked. The
Yeah,
host
I want to
asked.
stay on point. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get Miss Phil's, but Miss Phil's, I want the men to get their shit off. I'm gonna go down to Mugabe. Wise elder,
I'm gonna go last because I want to keep it on track. I want to make sure that everybody stay on track with the question that you asked, sis.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna go
right
straight to
before
Neo.
Can you ask it again?
So do you view yourself and your future self, your 5-year, 10-year plan? Do you view yourself having a one income household?
Oh yeah, I saw the answer that earlier. It's a two-part answer. Well, it's two answers, not a two-part. Two answers is yes, I envision myself that way in 5 to 10 years because I'm gonna have that record deal. But if I don't have that record deal, no, I do not envision myself that way.
Why not?
Because the economy don't apply for it. Like I'm not the job I'm working right now. I can't afford a whole fucking family on just my income. But if I could, that's what I would be looking for. So
So
if
what
I
could you
had my
do to
record
make that
deal,
happen right now?
wait,
You can't
hold
go for what
on.
you want to do.
No, elaborate. No, elaborate.
So much to
Right,
unpack here.
right. So what I'm saying is, if I had that record deal and I was making 200,000 a year, and I can afford for my woman not to work, that's the ideal situation for me and my outlook on how I would want my family to be. And I would want a woman who's cool with not working, not one that's gonna feel like she's being pressured into not working. I would want a woman who's happy being that motherly role. But being that I'm not at that level financially, I'm looking for a woman who's willing to work and do everything like that. You know, I'm looking for what y'all talking about. But if I had it my way, it would be the traditional way.
All right. So I'm gonna bring it. Welcome, Mr. Nasty.
Never let me drop off. All right. I want to
All
drop my 2 cents in. So I have a completely different perspective, and it's just, everybody looks at the world differently. When I first met my wife, she made more money than me, and we still had a one, and I was still working, but we still viewed it as a one income household. Now she don't work and I'm working, and we still have a one income household. If my woman, when she finishes school, and no if, when she finishes school and goes back to work, we will still have a one income household because we putting the money into the same one pot. We got the same goal. We're going in the same direction. When you start saying this is mine and this is this and this, that's when you start having issues about what's going to doing with the money, who hiding money. That one video we was talking about hiding earlier today, we were talking about a woman was hiding money and all of that, and the secret escape account, like all of that's just it's ridiculous. If you and your partner are on exactly the same level, you 100% are going in the same direction, and you want to go in the same direction, you're on the same page, then it's only one pot. You know, it's not two pots. It's not a two-pot household. It's a one-pot household. It's we are working for the betterment of our entire family. She want what's good for my children. Guess what? I want what's good for my children. So how is that separate? You know what I mean? That's just
I get what you're saying about that. It's together, but it's still two incomes going into that one pot. There's still not somebody at home for 40 hours a week. They're
He
at
said
work
she
for
don't work
40
no
hours.
more.
No. He said she go to school and then when she finishes,
she
she's
not.
going to be working.
Yeah,
There's
because she.
still I'm saying I get what you're saying. It's y'all together. Man and woman become one, and it's one pot. I'll give that and I respect that and I agree with that. But I'm saying there's still a person, both people being away from home for at least 40 hours a week, time they could be home dealing with the kids, taking care of the household, some shit like that.
All
I
right,
wanted to
ask me
try the
next.
Neo.
Ask me next.
All right.
Ask
Can
me
we
Well,
apply
next.
to the
it
Neo?
was Miss Fields' turn. She was waiting
But
after all
we
the
not
men.
no,
Go
bro. We
ahead,
supposed to be
sis.
going around the
Oh,
horn with
that's
the
right. You want to go
gentlemen.
last. That's right. I forgot. You want to go last.
There's another
Miss
guy on the
Fields.
phone. I mean, on the call, ain't it?
No, he dropped off.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say this, and this is just, I'm kind of a statistics guy, and and the statistics don't lie. People do. And I'm literally looking at my computer screen about the 2024 income tax brackets. Now, to be in the 22% income tax bracket, a single person has to make between $47,000 and $100,000 a year. I don't think that that's enough to take care of a woman in a family. Now,
Hell no.
the 22% tax bracket for married filing jointly is 94,000 to 201,000. So that's a little bit better. That's a significant difference. Now, if you're able to get into the 24% tax bracket as a single filer, which is 100,000 500, excuse me, 100,005 to 191,000, you might be able to consider taking care of a woman. You might be able to consider having a single family, not on the low end of the 24% tax bracket, but closer to the higher end of the
Even on the
24%
low
tax
end.
bracket.
The
No,
low end too.
on the low end, the low end ain't go cut it in some markets. In some
Shit,
markets, the low
depending on where you live. But go
and
ahead.
in
But they
some
make,
in
they
some
make
Some market.
and I'm and this and I'm saying in certain markets, the low end of the 24%, which is the highest tax. This is just taxes. This is what according to what you make annually. That I don't think that's enough money to live off of one income. And even if it was enough money, and I'm just being completely transparent when I say this, I have extreme trust issues. I had a 10-year period in my life where
Yeah, he like, I
where
don't know about this.
I was fucking a whole lot of married women, a whole lot of stay-at-home moms.
don't tell
And
me.
and I'm just being honest. I think brothers, you don't want to be out there working your ass off, taking care of this woman, and she got all this fucking free time because, like, for you people that's into the book, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. And there's an old saying: there's only two things a man can give a woman: time or money. And if you giving her time, she go want money. And if you giving her money, guess what she go want? She's gonna want time. And guess what's gonna happen? That nigga that got the time, while you out there
Cookie.
putting in that 60
You right,
hours a
right?
week, he gonna be drilling your girl. Because I was the
Cookie.
nigga drilling niggas' wives. And I'm just being
Cookie. You
honest
right, right?
about that shit, bro. So don't
Cookie.
don't
You right.
all that all this we don't live in that world no more. These women have too
Cookie.
many
You right.
distractions that's giving them too much attention. They got all this social media. They can
We
claim to
do
love your
too.
dirty. They can claim to love your dirty draws, bro. They can claim to
Hmm.
love your dirty draws, but once you go to work, somebody go be in there drilling her, bro.
That's
Somebody
why
gonna
you
be in there
gotta
and
be.
I'm just
That's
being,
why you gotta wait.
and
That's
I'm
why
just,
you gotta be very patient about who you bring into your
and
life, bro.
it don't even, bro, it don't
Or you
even,
got to work on a laptop and be home.
if you ain't working remote,
back up.
if you ain't working remote, you don't know what that woman doing when you putting in 60 hours a week, bro. I had a 10-year
Bring
run.
that back
I
up,
had a
brother.
10-year run of drilling married women,
That's why.
engaged women, women that was claiming to be separated.
Mm.
And all of them, I'm talking about, oh, hold on, this is my husband right here. Hey, baby, how you doing? Nothing, about to go get my nails done. Digging her back out at a cheap motel. And this man taking care of this woman fully. So I'm just telling you, y'all, like we don't live in that Holly homemaker.
Pick your woman carefully.
It ain't about picking your woman carefully. You don't know what a woman
Yes,
go
it
through.
is, bro. Because that
Bro,
woman that's got that teacher
man,
as a baby
Hold
daddy, she
on,
ain't
Gary,
fucking you, nigga.
chill,
man,
Gary.
man,
She's not fucking
Gary
you,
and
bro.
Bill.
man,
Who gonna get the floor?
man,
Gary,
Come
chill.
on, please.
bro,
All right,
Back
so
back up.
bro.
I'm gonna move it to
Okay.
Baby.
Well,
Back up.
I'm gonna tell you like this, bro.
Could y'all put
And
this?
and it's just the reason why I wanted to go last because I wanted to elaborate on this. I don't think that in 2024, most of you men that want to have a stay-at-home woman where you beating your chest talking about you big dog, you really don't want to do that because the odds of you finding one that's going to be consistently loyal, gotta remember, I'm gonna say this again. Every woman want one of two things. She either gonna want time or money. The nigga that's giving her time ain't gonna be able to give her money, and the nigga that's giving her money ain't gonna be able to give her time. So guess what's gonna happen? That nigga that's sitting around playing PlayStation all day, that's good morning queen in the shit out of her in her DMs, she go give in, bro. And I'm just telling you, I'm saying, put her ass to work, make her go out there and get some bread, make her go out there. I don't give a fuck if it's 20 hours a week. Send her ass to work, make her go out there and be an active participant in the financial success of her family. Do not
Wait,
sit up there and try to take care of a chick, bro.
so you
And I
trying
land
to
the
tell
plane.
me? So you trying to tell me my good morning queens ain't for nothing? You telling me I should
Hold
keep
up,
it up?
hold up.
Keep
But
it up. They
Kenny
working.
ain't
They
going
working.
yet.
Okay.
Cause one thing you missing, bro, is the work husband. So you there's a whole nother dynamic you not even seeing. But here's my
Thank
thing.
you.
I haven't given up confidence in our women like that. So
Shit.
Gary kind of has a point. You do really have to discern who you're choosing. I think most quality women want a balance of both. They don't want to be broke, but they also want that time. So with this conversation, right, about the bread and everything else, two Morphine's original question, and now I got the floor. I can answer. Hell no. I can't go. I can't take my kids to London like I've taken them. I can't take my kids to Ghana like I've taken them. I can't take my kids to Mexico like I just took them 2 weeks ago without a two income household. And there's
But you
nothing wrong
could if
with
you
that.
made
And
more
because
money.
hold on, I'm
It's
not
crazy
finished.
y'all
And
believe that, bro, and
because
not believe in
and
yourselves. Because I can't.
because let me finish. Because of what we build together, we're able to balance maintaining a strong family and a strong household. So, my main issue number one is if you're not in a place where you can provide a woman with that, this should not even be your conversation. That's number one I want to establish. If you not at 100 grand minimum, just going off his tax numbers, which I kind of agree with, if you ain't at 100 racks, you don't even need to be having this conversation. This conversation ain't for you, right?
Real shit.
That's number
So
one.
all y'all at
That's
100 racks?
I'm
hold on.
about 80.
I mean,
I'm about 80.
but look,
I'm just
right?
saying.
That's number one. That's
The
number one.
same.
If you
I'm about to
can't
be.
provide that, you shouldn't even be having that conversation. What I can share from my experience and my life is, yes, you get the right woman that you can build with, that's on the same time as you, even if she makes more than you. if you are a solid man and you're bringing the requirements to the table, your manhood will not be in question. The submission will come into play when need be. But in a environment of equality, both sides are gonna have to be somewhat submissive. And there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. You get what I'm saying? I get what he's saying, smashing niggas' wives and all that. Like, I was the work boyfriend for a lot of chicks when I was young and wild,
That's it.
right?
We all
I hope my
was,
wife
bro.
not listening. I hope my
That's where
wife
I
not listening.
started.
Listen. But listen to what I'm saying, right? Like, I get that. But I'm saying that's not even the conversation I'm trying to have because we want to win. So if you with a raggedy broad, she's going to pop off regardless. If you're with a quality woman, even on a high school teacher's salary, talk to me, sis. I know you back there and you hear me,
I'm here.
right? All
I'm
right
waiting for
then.
my
All right.
turn.
If you're dealing with a quality woman, even on a high school teacher's salary,
She gonna love
you
you
can make
regardless.
it work. So this is when it comes to the conversation of power dynamics, what a lot of my brothers need to understand is we are in a golden position, especially if you're outpacing other men in your demographic. You're set up to win. You just have to utilize it properly, and you have to not be hung up on your own insecurities. Again, my wife makes a great salary, I make a great salary, and we're able, our kids' passports is tatted up. Shout out to my man Fabo. Shout out to my man Fabo. You know what I mean? Our kids' passports is tatted up. One of the biggest problems about the social media environment, and again, my conversation always comes to environment. When we look at those two videos we looked at, the first question you got to ask yourself is this someone you want to be? Is this woman the wife you want to be? Is that man the husband you want to be? Then you have to ask yourself, are these things even your goals?
Morphine, I
I
gotta
don't
go. I
think.
love you, man. I'm sorry to be disrespectful, y'all.
Go
I
ahead,
love
go ahead,
y'all,
go ahead.
man. I respect this podcast so much, bro.
Oh
But I
well,
Y'all
gotta
niggas
go,
always,
y'all.
happy to
yo,
have
y'all
you
always
here.
do that to me, man.
Come back.
I've been here for an hour and a half, bro. Come on, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I ain't mean
I
to
ain't
cut you
mad at
off.
you,
No, I
bro.
fuck with
I
you.
ain't mad at you.
All right, so.
Hey, yo, Ferg, next time you have a show, you better add me, bro. I'll be
Yo,
in the
one thing.
background like, yo,
All
Ferg,
right,
add
so
me.
can you let Miss Fields go? Can we let me? Because she been waiting
Bruh.
patiently.
I've been waiting
Salute, Ferg.
patiently. Okay, so I got an answer for like 4 of y'all. First of all, on behalf of the stay-at-home moms and wives that do not cheat on their husbands, I am sorry that y'all had to hear this because I know a lot of us is just holding down the home and loving our husbands and raising our children, okay? Not all stay-at-home moms and wives are out here getting drilled by the plumber, okay?
The
All
Pookie
right, I
Plumber.
had to knock that one out first.
Remind him, sis. I know you exist, Queen. I know you exist, Queen.
Then I wanted to respond to something that Trey said earlier. That's how long I've been patient because I had to jot notes down because I didn't want to forget.
Right.
A lot of times, a lot of people ask me, how do y'all do it? Your husband is a high school teacher. You have 3 children. You live in a beautiful home. Like, you know, just give me bragging rights for a minute, but my home is $500,000. We got cars. We got, you know, I never opened the refrigerator or the pantry and it's empty. Never had a light bill not paid, nothing. Go on
Salute to that
vacation and
man.
everything. But the thing
Salute
to
to
it,
that
again,
man.
it's about budgeting. It's about spending wisely. And, you know, again, like Trey said, you know, one of the women are the biggest spenders. I could tell you this because I was a retail store manager for over 2 decades. And guess who I targeted the most? Women.
You ain't got to tell us.
Women are spenders. So if we just like, there's sometimes I want something and then I'll be like, okay, do I want it or do I need it? Okay, so I don't need it right now. No, all right. So you know what? I'll wait. And a lot of women don't have that discipline. So I wanted to say that about Trey. And then there was another thing that Neo said that I really wanted to touch on before the call ended, is where Neo was talking about that when you have two parents in the household and they're both working themselves to death, and that leaves that kid at home by themselves or at a daycare with some stranger raising them or running the streets and things like that. And that was one of the biggest reasons that I decided that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom when my children were young. There is nothing that blesses me more. Each and every day, I wake up every morning, have my coffee. I see my sons off to school. I see my husband off to work. They get off the bus. I'm home to see them get here. I can ask them how their day went, feed them, have dinner ready when my husband come home from a long day at work. I get to spend time with my 3-year-old beautiful daughter each and every day and see her grow. I don't miss nothing. I don't miss the first steps, the words, the jokes, the giggles, the boo-boos, or nothing. And I wanted to say that because a lot of times, sometimes, and I used to be in a lot of stay-at-home mom groups, a lot of times it's not even that they can't financially do it. A lot of women don't even yearn to do that anymore. A lot of women, it's too much for them. It's like, oh my God, you mean you're home with your children all day? That's what you do? What about you? What do you do? And I'm like, that's what I do. That's my priority. Those when I married my husband and I had my children, they became my priority, not somebody that I clock in and out for. Now, having said that, this year Monica will be going to school. She's going to be 4, and I'm going to go back into my photography business. I'm going to do something because I don't want to sit in the house all day, but I will never go back to a job that's going to restrict me from being able to cater to my family. My family comes first and foremost.
Yep.
I land my plane. I had to remember all that. Look, y'all lucky I remembered it all because I was holding it.
You got a good memory.
Back up really quick. Can y'all hear me? I just want to speak on this chart really quick in reference to the, income and things like that. Because it had single and it had filing jointly. If you're married, don't file joint, file separate. Now, as far as let's look at the tax bracket. The same as the tax bracket, that's how much you should be saving if you're making this much money. You should be saving the same amount flipped over as far as what you taxed of. You should be able to save the same amount in your bank account, in your pocket, in your hiding space, cash money, converting it to gold or silver, stuff like that. But how many of us have the discipline, especially if you now the 11, let's say the 12% to the 10%, we'll just say that's the income because the numbers haven't changed. The income, if you just have a high school diploma. Now, some people may get lucky if they create something dynamic. You can probably do it. But you still have to, without a high school, with just a high school diploma, you'll make about $63,000 in tops. With a college degree, anywhere between, and the higher your degree, such as bachelor's, master's, associate, master's is higher. Then you got the doctorate. The doctorate, especially, go to about, depends, it could go to, because doctors make about $243,000. That's the 32%.
Damn.
But you can still save that on that if you do it right. If you grow up, if you have a family, you can do it because you can plan the vacations, plan to travel. Everybody get the shoes. It's really simple, man. And you can use. And I can say it's my last thing because I don't want. If you want to know, just go look at the research. Now these are. You see the single, you see married, filing jointly. Head of household meaning it's you, your wife, she may not work, have no income. You got your kids, that's head of household, or it just may be you, a single person, you head of household. Now here's the thing though. Here's the tricky part. If you married, don't ever file jointly with your wife because they double tax you. They'll tax one person at like 12%, but the other person be like 35%. You lose money. File married, do it separate. Yeah, that's it. I'm telling you, you can look it up. You got to do it. You know,
Depending
I
depending
want
no,
on your
I'm
income.
telling you, you want to save money, 20%, you got to do that. It's legal. You can do that. Go look it up.
You
That's
saying
part
that
of it.
all incomes is gonna come out better that way?
It
Yes,
depends on
sir.
your
But you
it
gonna get,
depends
cause
on
you
your
gonna
it
get your,
depends on your income for sure. Because if you
but
ain't
even if it's, even so, say you make $10,000 a year, you still get that little income tax, a little
yeah,
500-600. You get it back. She can get her money. Everybody gets,
yeah.
everybody, especially if you married and got children, all the money's coming back to the house all the time.
And I was just gonna add real quick because I know I gotta go before my husband divorced me.
I gotta go
Um,
for my job, fire me.
right before my job
I'm
fired
in
me.
trouble too, sis. I'm in trouble too, sis. Go ahead.
Right.
Is this show
One of the
over anyway?
one of the biggest things that we made sure that we focused on, before we had kids and then going further is alleviating debt. So debt to ratio is a big thing. And a lot of times we have so much debt that our checks are being consumed by that debt. So, like for example, recently Billy paid off his student. One got forgiven, one got paid off. That opened up like $500. The truck was paid off. That opened another $500. This got paid off. So we every time, so just for example, when we get a lump sum, let's say tax time, we don't go out and buy stupid stuff like flat screen TVs. We look and say, okay, what can we pay off? What's the smallest bill, or what can we afford to pay off and still put some of that tax money into our savings? And then we've alleviated another debt, whether it's $70, whether it's $500. And a lot of times that adds up. Like, so in the span of 3 months, he opened up $1,200 that was going out of the house that's now back in the house. So now we're able to save that money.
And to that point, this part of the conversation is the building blocks. This is what's missed when we have all these weird questions out in the weeds about what patriarchal societies were doing 100 years ago. That's not going to help you in the environment you're in. Everything that Sis just shared, these are the real things that couples now in this environment that we live in need to be focused on. That's what gets missed. And so when you start having a conversation about all the weird shit, it's not, you can't really build off that. So salute to you, sis.
Well,
Thank
I want
well,
to.
I can't take credit. I have to give credit to my husband. He's a business marketing teacher. He's an economics teacher. That's what his degree is in. So
Look, look
he's the
at you
money
being a
man.
super wife. Look at you
He's
being a super queen. Look
he's
at you.
he's he's the Superman in this. So I
That's
just
what's up.
I just go with what he says
Last person
because I
married.
trust him to guide us in the
All
right
right.
direction.
I would like
Let's
to
get.
end this show.
I
I
was gonna
would
say let's
like
get ready
to
to wrap
end
it
this
up because it's been 3 hours and everybody. I appreciate everybody for coming on. This has been a very interesting and spirited show to say the least.
Spirited.
You know what I mean? And go ahead, Morphine.
All right. Same here. I want to thank everybody that came to the panel. Those who let me my mic is kind of weird. Those who came up to the panel, those who gave us love by watching us and the support of coming every Monday to come and watch. Thank you guys.
Shout out to
Till
Amir
next Monday. What is
Simmons.
our next Monday show about? Because we always
Let
do
me
that.
let me pull up the notes.
I love it. You guys are
Oh,
so great.
facts over feelings is next week. It's gonna be a satire show. We're gonna just have everybody come up and talk about what they believe is, what it is, and we're gonna pull it up online, pull it up on AI or something, and we're gonna check facts over feelings. All of this, all of that stuff out here, people saying, "Oh, black women is outpacing black men." We're gonna look it up. We're gonna see we're gonna look at the facts over the feelings. But they saying, this person is doing better than that person. We look, excuse me. Such and such is buying houses more than anybody else. We're gonna look it up. We're gonna fact check over feelings. That's the next show.
Oh, they're gonna be hurt. They're gonna be hurt next week.
I like
Oh
that.
yeah, next week we
Some
checking we
feelings gonna
checking
get
all
hurt.
egos at the door. Like
I like
if
that.
you thought you was right, you might be wrong. If you thought you was on the right foot, you on the left. Like we gonna go. It's about facts, and next
Bullshit Willie
right.
always right.
And
Yeah,
I'm waiting
if
to
you
see how
really,
many.
if you,
I want to see
if
how
you,
many excuses they're gonna have. Like, well, that's just that computer. That's just that. That ain't.
yeah,
But
if you really want to know how black folks is doing out here, go talk to a local tax professional and say, hey, tax professional,
Oh damn!
how is it?
You
You
want to
know what
send
I'm
them
saying?
to tax professionals and the bankers and shit? No, you cheating now.
You know what I'm saying? Like
You
they
getting
can't
in
lie.
these
They
niggas'
can't lie.
wallets.
Right. If you want to know what people really doing out here, say, hey, tax
That's gonna tell
professional,
you what's
what is
what.
people really doing
Valid.
out here? Hey, CPA, what is people? Because
Mm.
it's a whole lot of cap in
Now,
our community.
you
It's
know
a
what's
whole
interesting
lot
about
of
that, Mugabe? My
uh,
best friend is actually a tax preparer. I can see if you want to come up here and talk about some
right,
stuff.
Talk
right.
general.
Yeah,
Talk general.
bring
Don't
him
mention
in.
Right.
no
Yeah,
names.
right, right.
He
Without
know he know the law. He know the law for sure. Like
right.
he
And I
like
guarantee you people go have a different perspective. Like there's a whole lot of cap in our community, bro.
yo.
Like
Absolutely.
there's a whole lot of people not being honest with where they really are. When you look at them tax brackets, that shit don't lie, man.
Yeah.
Like, you
Well,
know, that shit.
what he's done though that kind of changed my perspective. He lets me know that strippers actually make really good money.
Hey,
It's not cap.
y'all speaking too
For
heavy on the
how
beat.
long?
Look.
That's a whole
I want to
different.
end my
For
show. I
how
want to end
long?
the
Yeah.
goddamn show.
All right.
Bye,
Yeah, we
y'all.
gotta end it. We
And,
gotta leave him on a cliffhanger. Hit
Yeah,
cliffhanger.
thank y'all
and
guys for
do they
y'all
know what it's
speaking
gonna
to the
take to
room.
retire? We getting that stripper.